Alright, we're pushing this ahead into the schedule. No time for dilly-dallying. Please subscribe. Bad times for Gregor. Let's go! Alright, just some quick in and out trauma. How long could this take? 30 minutes? Well, it was only the first chapter. Lobotomy Corporation Branch D-02. The only X objective? Beat the dungeon. Let's go. During the final stretch of each chapter, you'll be exploring a dungeon, a branch facility of the former L Corps. Designate the identities who will enter the dungeon with you. You can't adjust your team once inside, so choose wisely. When you're fully prepared, press the enter button. These are all I got, so that's all I have. The current average level of identities in your loadout is lower than the recommended level for this stage. Enter the dungeon anyway. Current average level 6, recommended level 7. Not like there's anything I can do about it. Enter.
그럴듯한 예술이라면 더 좋을 텐데 말이야.
You can't even do excavations where you can earn your tickets until you beat this dungeon. You still might have normal tickets from other events, and I technically did have some, but to use them at this juncture feels like it would be a waste. We entered the derelict building of Lobotomy Corporation. Oh, and for the record, if I'm not able to beat this dungeon with my current levels, then we're gonna cut here, and then you'll know, because the first thing I'll say is, I told you so, when we cut back. But we'll see what happens. As the light goes dim, the dreadful stench from underground grows stronger. Bug soldier, sparking metal, vines everywhere.
냄새가 지독해요.
Ugh, the smell. It's awful.
허파 속으로 쓰레기가 막 붙고 있어.
I can feel the waste collecting in my lungs.
되려 머리가 맑아지는 냄새요.
The odor is so intense, it winds back to refreshing. One might say, like wilting flowers.
다시 한번 말씀드리지만 이 안에서 죽으면 전투가 끝나도 되살아나지 못해요.
Let me warn you one last time. If you die here, Dante won't be able to resuscitate you even when the battle has finished.
되살아나?
Resuscitate?
유행하는 개그인가 봐. 요샌 도시에 무슨 이야기가 떠도는지도 모를 정도가 되어버렸어.
I see. She's not letting it slip, so that's why she said resuscitate instead of revive. Must be a popular joke or something. Whew, I can't even tell what kind of stories circulate the city these days. They seem to have misunderstood us, but seeing as Faust made no comment on it, I decided not to add my input. The sources of this rancid smell were a more pressing concern. Looks like they probably died a while ago.
정확한 관측이십니다. 시체의 붕괴기에 다다른 것으로 보이는군요.
An astute observation manager, the corpses have reached the stage of active decay. Versus what? Passive decay?
벌레들이 한창 잔치라도 여는 모양이네.
Bleh, looks like the bugs are having a feast over there.
얼른 서두르자고.
Let's just hurry along.
응? 그래. 자기 혹시 벌레 무서워해?
Huh? Something up, Gregor, babe? Are you scared of bugs?
이건 노파심인데 설마 벌레 시체를 얼굴에 들이대는 유치한 짓은.
Now, I'm sure you're more mature than shoving dead bugs in someone's face.
짠!
Boo!
하지 않을 거라비. 아이, 저리 치워! 뭐가 이렇게 웃긴 거야?
But just in case one of you... Gah! Put it away! What's so funny about this?
웃기잖아. 벌레를 무서워하는 게 다른 사람도 아닌 자기일 줄은.
Aw, I mean, it's hilarious. Who would have thought that you, of all people, would be scared of these little wrigglers?
그래, 그렇게 싫었어?
Greg, did you hate it that bad?
됐어.
Forget it.
거기 장난은 그만 쳐라. 관리자님이 신경 쓰셔야 할 거리를 만들지 말란 말이다.
You there, stop with your mischief this instant. Do not cause additional concerns for our manager.
잠깐. 이 시체는 아직 온기가 있군요.
Hold on, this body is still warm.
공격받은 건 꽤 최근인 듯하구려.
Such is a sign of a recent attack. The gloom that had cast over Yuri's face cleared after observing the bodies for a minute.
아니, 로보토미 코퍼레이션 직원들은 아니네요.
These aren't I mean Lobotomy Corporation's employees.
여긴 이제 금광이나 다름없는 곳이 되어버려서 어중이 떠중이들도 모여든다더군요.
I heard these buried facilities are considered pure gold mines now, attracting all sorts looking for riches.
몇몇 해결사나 조직들 사이에선 로보토미 드림이나 엔케팔린 러쉬란 말이 도는 정도니까요.
Phrases like the lobotomy dream or the encephalon rush are apparently starting to catch on among fixers and syndicates. I do not remember her saying that.
로드 앤 러쉬. 멋있는 줄임이군.
LD, E-Rush, got a nice ring to it.
조용히 있다가 기껏 말한다는 게
That's what you have to say after keeping quiet for so long?
그러한 잉글리쉬는 본래의 뜻을 가물하게 만들지 않겠소.
Is such a frivolous use of English not prone to blurring the original meaning? I wonder if that's the thing he says in all languages.
제 말이 그 말이.
That's what I'm saying.
이성 씨, 뭔가 말수가 많아진 것 같은데요?
Huh. You seem to be talking a lot more than usual, Yi-sang.
이상하오?
Does that reflect strangely? And yet I heard him say his name, so I think that might have been a pun.
그이는 원래 말수가 적지 않은 사람이에요.
He was never really the quiet sort.
최근에 조금 바뀌었을 뿐.
He only had a shift recently.
관찰력이 높은 졸개가 많아지는 건 나쁘지 않은 일이지.
It's not a bad thing to have more lackeys with keen eyes.
계속 지금의 상태를 유지해줬으면 좋겠군. 가지.
I'd like you to keep that up. Let us march.
마치 그대가 캡틴 같구려. 관리자께서 할 일이라고 보만.
You make yourself look like the captain here. I dare say that role belongs to the manager.
제가 주제가 넘었습니다, 관리자님.
Please forgive my insolence, manager. Frowning as though she were caught off guard, Otis bows to me as she apologizes. No, it's nothing. Let's head down. Most of the corpse's body parts were morphed in bizarre ways. One had pairs of wings protruding through their intestines, and another had horribly twisted antennae hanging down.
우리가 아까 마주쳤던 자들이랑 비슷해 보이지 않나요?
These look kinda similar to the thugs we ran into just before, don't they?
그 벌레 머리 하고 있던 사람들 말이죠?
You mean those bug-headed people?
조용. 전방에 거수자 포착.
Quiet, I'm seeing uniform tangos ahead. Let's see, uniform is U, tangos is T, unknown something. Actually, I'm looking that up. Hang on. I have to assume that Uniform Tango stands for unknown targets, as when I tried to look it up, most things had it listed as Tango Uniform, referring to something completely different. As Otis noted, multiple figures could be seen down the corridor.
거수자? 그 뭐야?
Uniform? What's all that?
거동 수상자 적일지도 모른다고.
Ah, I was almost right. Unidentified targets, possibly hostile. I'm sure one idea crossed all of our minds. The enigmatic abnormalities that might be roaming this facility, as Faust mentioned. That might be what those shadowy figures are.
마주칠 수밖에 없겠군.
We have no choice but to face them.
어이, 거기 누구야?
Hey, who goes there? G-Corp Remnant, Crooked Veteran. Instead, what we faced was people. It was too early to deem that as fortunate, though.
뭐야, 이 근방엔 우리들 뿐이라며.
Huh? I thought we were the only people around here.
입구 쪽에서 처리를 못한 건가? 그새 다른 쥐새끼들이 들어왔나 보군.
Vulgar Veteran. Gosh, I really love this image. I don't remember seeing it the first time, but this can't be new. Did they slip past our team at the entrance? Those scavengers keep coming one after the other.
어이 벌레들, 아까 그 시체들은 너네 친구들이냐?
Oi, bug buggers. You friends with the bodies back there?
시체? 나 이 새끼.
Bodies? You bastards didn't.
잠깐.
Wait.
어디서 온 찌꺼기들인진 모르겠지만 들어봐.
I don't know where you scum are from, but hear me out a sec.
어차피 너희도 엔케팔린을 챙기러 온 거지. 여기서 한층만 더 내려가면 손쉽게 엔케팔린을 얻을 수 있어.
You're here for the Enkephalin, aren't you? If you go just one floor down, there's a treasure trove just waiting to be nabbed.
거기는 너희에게 양보할게. 서로 챙길 것만 챙기고 좋게 좋게 헤어지자.
Whatever's on that floor is yours. We'll just take what we can here and be on our...
고.
way. Ha! Ha ha!
알아본 거 같네.
Sis, so you recognize me, huh? The moment the soldier's eyes landed on Gregor's face, their thin veil of kindness was torn down.
이 배신자 녀석.
Traitorous pissant.
아, 너는 전방에 소속돼 있었나 보네. 어때? 그래도 포스터보다는 실물이 낫지.
Ah, you must have been dispatched to the front lines too. I look better in real life than on those flyers, right?
헛소리 집어쳐. 내가 너 따위에게 경례를 했었다는 게 역겨우니까.
Cut the cheeky crap. I'm disgusted that I once saluted to your face.
이런 실물이 되고 한 것도 아닌데.
Whoa.
그러지 말지 그래.
Whoa, easy there. It's not like you had to salute me in person.
너는 그 가짜는 특혜로 시술 부작용 없이 평범한 사람 행세하며 살아갔겠지만
While you posed as a normal member of society thanks to your dumbass privilege, freeing you from the side effects.
우린 아니었어. 이 기만자 새끼야. 우린 전쟁에서 패배하자마자 버려졌다고.
We never even got a chance to fraternize her. We were thrown away right after the war was lost. Oh, I only just noticed this one up here. Nice.
버려진 건 나도 마찬가지였어. 모든 군인들이 똑같지 않나?
I was tossed out all the same, you know. Isn't that how it is for all the soldiers?
그 중에서도 너희들은 버려진 벌레처럼 살아가기 선택했나 보지?
So this is a lifestyle you chose? Rifling through the trash like actual bugs?
적을 도발해서 좋을 건 없지 않은가?
Halt! No good can come out of taunting your foe.
당신도 군 출신이라면 알잖아.
You served the military too. You know where this is going.
앞에 서 있는 것들과 싸우게 될지 아닐지 정도는.
We're not getting out of this without a fight.
순순히 보내줄 생각이었는데.
We were planning to let you through. We really were.
저 배신자 새끼째로 잘라 죽여주지.
But now I'll mince you and your traitor friend into mutt meat.
어이없는 새끼들이네. 우리가 엔케팔린을 가져오면 그대로 뒤통수 갈겼을 것들이야.
Like hell you were. You were gonna wait for us to climb back up with the Enkephalin so you could backstab us and swipe it.
그랬던 거였어요?
But wait, were they?
밑바닥에 떨어질 대로 떨어진 놈들한테 의리란 게 남아있을 것 같냐?
They fall to rock bottom and below, and I swear down they don't care a whit for honor, eh?
가진 놈들도 뒤통수를 쳐 때리는 판인데 그럼 말랑한 걸 기대하냐 넌?
Well off or broke, people turn on each other as long as there's something. You're way too naive to think otherwise. Oh, Heathcliff, if only you took your own advice. Dungeon structure. Your goal is to reach the last section of the bottom floor and retrieve the golden bow. The dungeon consists of multiple floors, each rife with events and encounters. Clear the sector at the end of the floor to proceed to the next. Dungeon navigation. Each sector is connected to one or more paths. You can travel to adjacent sectors by selecting them. It's possible to retrace your steps, so feel free to explore where you want first. Sustained damage. Sinners don't heal after battle while in dungeons. Sinners with 0 HP are unable to participate, so keep track of their status. Reaching a checkpoint will allow you to fully restore your sinners. Defeats and retries. After losing a battle, you can reattempt it from the start with whatever living sinners remain on your team. Gosh, I love these maps, but unfortunately they do, or they have, I should say, abandoned them by near to the current versions of the game. Let's head to the control team lobby. Let's see. For now, let's just make sure we get all of our actual IDs, and let's see. We have to have Gregor, of course, but after him, Heathcliff.
해오던 대로 방송을 켜겠다.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
균형이 무너졌군요.
해줬구만.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
겨우은 절투.
Gregor lights a cigarette and takes a drag, followed by smoke streaming out from his mouth.
다른 보안업체에 취직을 해도 이것보다는 나았을 텐데요.
They'd have fared better than this if they got a job at a security company or something.
평생을 군인으로 살았던 자들이다. 다른 직업으로 새 출발하기엔 적응하고 바뀌어야 할 것들이 너무 많았겠지.
They spent their entire lives as soldiers. The changes required for them to start a new life must have been overwhelming.
그리고 몰락한 날개 출신이라는 건 엄청난 꼬리표야. 누가 받아주면 구두발이라도 핥아줘야 할 정도로.
You have no idea how stubbornly the stigma of a fallen wing's remnants will haunt you. If anyone's generous enough to take you in, licking their boots is the least you can do.
미안하다. 내가 생각이 짧았네.
Oh, sorry about that. Should have chosen my words carefully.
아니에요. 쥐사나 엘사나 상황은 비슷했겠죠.
No, it's fine. I'm sure things were rough with G-Core's fall too.
날개가 부러진다는 건 그만큼 혼란스러운 사건이니까요.
The breaking of a wing is a turbulent affair for many people. And yes, you can backtrack.
하라고? 나? 뭐 최선은 다해보겠다만.
부드럽게. 전투는 끝나지 않아. 부드럽게. 불타올랐군요.
But you can't arbitrarily skip to rooms. If there's no path, you can't go there. So for example, if I head here, can't head here. You have to go at the start of a path in order to get there. As for the incentive for backtracking,
길게 끌 거 없어. 바로 간다.
you keep your ego resources so you can grind them out a bit, and you keep your sanity. Up to a point. I do believe the checkpoints remove all your sanity, but do also let you keep your resources.
간다.
균형이 무너졌군요.
생각보다 잘 들어갔네.
Did that person just heal 2 HP? Sweep. Guard. Must be a passive. Augmented body. At the start of the turn, if at less than 50% HP, heal 2 HP. Like it'll help you.
딱 좋은 결투였다.
And we have some abnormality fights. Select 5 sinners to participate in this encounter. Now it may seem odd what I'm about to do, but as Mersault is already on full sanity, I'm going to deselect him and select someone else. In this case, why not Otis?
끌어넘칠 시간이군요.
Entities known as abnormalities may be found in dungeons. A different kind of approach is needed in encounters against abnormalities. Battles that employ this different approach are called focused encounters. Let's explore its mechanics. All abnormalities have one or more parts. Each part has their own set of skill slots and speed values. Abnormality parts. Abnormalities often have multiple parts that can be targeted. Each part uses skills from its assigned skill slots, and its speed values can change from turn to turn. In focus encounters, you must select the sinner's skill icons and chain them directly to the abnormality skill slots. It feels funny, normally seeing them go from up, down, over to here, and then to instead just jump off the dashboard entirely to the enemies. Though, as most people might recognize, this is essentially Ruina combat, though still a lighter version. Select a skill from the leftmost column of the dashboard. Now drag from the selected skill to this enemy slot to chain them. Remember, in focused encounters, you connect the sinner's skills directly to the enemy's skill slots. Please press the gear on the left if you would like to zoom out and view the entire battlefield. Pressing the gear on the left while zoomed in will reset your field of view. Once you have connected every available skill to the enemy's skill slots, the gear icon on the right the button to enter the combat phase will activate. Only then can you proceed to the combat phase. Now, chain every sinner skills to the enemy slots, then start the combat phase using the gear icon on the right. Unlike Ruina, where you could technically leave empty slots either for tactical or accidental use, in Limbus Company, all slots have to be committed. The closest you can get to wasting an action is to use a defense skill instead of an attack skill, but that's as close as you're gonna get. So let's see. For now, we're not gonna stress too much. Ooh. This one's faster, or more accurately, is the same speed, so I can't redirect. So I have to pay attention. You can use these to see clashes and all arrows. Alright. Let's see. Ishmael, Otis, Honglu. So, since two are focused on Otis, I'll have Otis grab the faster one. You can grab you still. Honglu, you'll grab this one. And you target you. And as for the spare skill, because he's slower than everyone else, I will target you. Why not? Just because you're in the front.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게. 다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
Alright, let's see. You. Oh, too fast. Alright, you. Let's see. 8. Is this a waste? Yes. But if there's one thing you learn from Arena, there is no such thing as overkill.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
오, 생각보다 잘 들어갔네.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
쉽네.
No points in guessing for how this fight will end. Except that it's not quite over yet.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
쉽구만.
Speed determines the order of actions taken in focused encounters. The speed assigned to each unit for this turn can be viewed here next to their skill slots. Speed of allied units can be viewed here on the dashboard as well. As you have just seen, focused encounters are conducted by chaining your unit skills directly to enemy skill slots. Now let's learn how to handle situations where several enemies are focusing on a single allied unit. Hover over, then select this unit slot here. Allies with faster speeds can force enemies with slower speeds to redirect their attacks and clash with them, instead by chaining their own skill against the enemies. Select a faster sinner and chain their skill against the enemies. As demonstrated here, allies with faster speeds than the enemy can strategically draw attacks targeting other allies to themselves, depending on the flow of battle. When ally speed is greater than enemy speed, if an allied unit speed is faster than the enemy units, the allied unit can redirect the targeting of the enemy skill to themselves. Once redirected, the allied unit and the enemy unit will clash. Another thing to note regarding targeting and redirecting, an allied unit targeted by an enemy skill can still clash against that skill regardless of their own speed. Chain your skill against the enemies. When targeted by enemy skills, allies targeted by enemy skills can clash against skills targeting themselves regardless of speed. If an allied unit's speed is equal to or slower than the enemy's, they cannot redirect the enemy's skill and may instead perform an unopposed attack. When allies' speed is lower than or equal to enemy's speed, allies with lower or equal speed values cannot force enemies with faster speed to target them. In such cases, both units will perform an unopposed attack marked by blue arrows instead of engaging in a clash first. Faster unit will attack first. Unopposed attacks skip clashes and strike directly. When multiple skills may target a single slot, only the last skill chained to it will clash. The others will activate as unopposed attacks. Sometimes it can be an effective strategy to forego clashes and have multiple units use unopposed attacks against a single dangerous enemy, even if it leaves them exposed to attacks from others. Also note that these technically aren't abnormalities, they're peccatula. View logs. Lacking data. It happened while I was passing by a jungle. It was a dense green wilderness full of tall flowers and trees, as well as outlandish bees and butterflies. You can find all kinds of unfathomably strange creatures in a place like that. For example, that flower. It's said that a plant can't normally move on its own. Once it takes root, it stays there for the rest of its life. That's what people consider a major difference between plants and animals. But those plants were like a pack of rabid beasts. A group of them charged at us, raising their teased flowers like it was their head. Their roots morphed into limbs that no longer served their original purpose, and there didn't seem to be any space in their bodies for storing nutrients. Yet, those scrawny stems were hungrily seeking the missing sustenance, continuously shoving things into the mouth, despite being unable to absorb any of it. What an odd creature that was. Most of those observation logs are usually written by sinners, but there are a few odder ones, especially earlier in the game, where it's not clear who was the original author of the log. Usually in those cases, it's written off as a mirror team versions of those logs. Let's get this sorted, and unopposed attack on you.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
Alright, now as we do have some units with max sanity, I should note that in most cases, you only gain sanity from winning clashes. So in cases like these, you might want to deliberately use your weaker sanity sinners to clash so they can get more sanity out of it than you would simply using all sinners equally. So we're gonna focus on using Gregor, Otis, and Heathcliff here. And luckily, all of them target them. Unfortunately, they only have a favorite here. So here's what we're gonna do. Heathcliff's one is the strongest right now, and then followed by Gregor's. So we're gonna have them target them, and then target them. And we're all set. And funny, because of how the speeds work out, that didn't require any redirecting. Alright?
부드럽게. 균형이 무너졌군요.
완전한 침묵.
순조로운 전략 좋은 전략입니다.
Now the buttons are here.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
숨쉬구만.
전 처음 봐요. 이런 것들은
I've never seen those before.
모른다고?
You don't know? Hopkins' face quickly turned into a cold frown. It was in such stark contrast to the face he showed before Virgilius. I shuddered in fright.
아니 그게
No, well,
우리가 굳이 추락한 날개에 깃털을 준 이유가 뭔지 알지 않나?
don't you know why we bothered to let a fallen wing's feather into our office?
엘사의 지부의 의뢰를 조금이나마 안전하게 해결하려고.
To deal with requests taking place in Elcor branches more safely.
잘하네. 하급 관리직 출신에게 별로 바라는 것도 없었어.
Exactly. I didn't even expect much from a low-rank agent.
길었네. 그리고 저 환상체인지 환장체인지 하는 걸 어떻게 조져야 할지 알려주는 거.
Just two simple jobs. Lead the way and tell us how to deal with those abnormal maladies or whatever. Abnormalities. Honestly, that's pretty similar.
근데 처음 본다는 말이나 하면 우린 어떻게 해야 되는 거냐? 어?
Now look, what do you expect us to do with just, oh no, I've never seen those before, huh?
호핀스, 배고파졌어? 살살 좀 해.
Gosh, Hopkins, feeling hangry? Take it easy.
유리 씨가 처음 본 게 확실하다면 이 개체는 환상체에서부터 비롯된 또 무언가. 어쩌면 또 다른 종일 수도 있겠죠.
If they are in fact new to Miss Yuri, then these might be another type of entity derived from abnormalities, perhaps a new species.
그 코퍼레이션이 모든 환상체를 관리하고 있지는 않았을 수도 있어.
That corporation might not have had every specimen in their confines either.
유리양이 공부를 소홀히 하지 않았다면 스스로를 탓할 필요도 없을 것이오.
Yuri, there is no reason to lambast yourself for neglecting to remember what you were never taught. Ahem.
감사합니다.
Thank you, sir.
뭘 간질거리게 입씨름을 하고 있어. 가서 두들겨 패면 되잖아.
What's there to argue about? All that matters is we beat them to death, right?
시킨다면 할 뿐이다.
Give the word and we'll do it. There you go, Mersault. Containment hold 2, containment hold 3. Gonna do them both, because why not? Let's see, you're done, you're done. You still need a bit more. You're done, you still need more too. I do this full well knowing that it might all go to waste once we hit the checkpoint, but hey, why not? More varied combat, right? And Ryoshu.
그럴듯한 예술이라면 더 좋을 텐데 말이야.
Pecatulum ire, Pecatulum gule. I don't pretend to know if I'm pronouncing that right. You want me to talk about that pointed thing? Thing shaped like a dry tentacle. There was some kind of red liquid in the middle. Smacked it a couple times with my bat, and the lanky thing was a bit more durable than it seemed. Bigger problem though, that thing's got a weird way of attacking. It prods poor sods with its long snout, and it starts shooting that red water into the body. It gives me a heartburn like I had some hard stuff on an empty stomach. It's irritating and suffocating. But anyway, it makes you feel all weird, makes you mad over wee stuff. Some even blew up after getting hit by that juice. I really don't want that happening to me. Weren't you always prone to getting mad over the smallest things? Don't piss me off. Now these, definitely written by a sinner. When you see arrows like that, it's sinners conversing with each other. Sometimes you can immediately guess who it's who. Sometimes it takes a bit of figuring out. Like this is probably Ishmael, but it's vague enough there could be a couple of other candidates. But this, definitely Heathcliff. Yep. See? You don't really want to rely on these unfocused attacks unless you're bound to overwhelm the enemies anyway. Unfortunately, these are the parts of the game where you have to read. Unlike normal encounters, where almost everyone gets paired up anyway, and you're only really in trouble if there are more skill slots on the enemy's side than on your side. Unfortunately, that does happen a lot, especially in later areas of the game. Alright, so let's pair up the slow ones first. Radia, one in the back. Heathcliff, one in the front and one in the back. But when multiple people are targeting a slower sinner, generally speaking, you want to clash with the fastest. Nobody's targeting Ryoshu or Sinclair. Hang on. Ah, yes, because of this one in the back here. So, Otis can handle this one. I mean, she has to because it's outspeeding everyone. And you can handle this one. And as for you, you won't redirect anything, so as per usual, I'll handle the front.
먼저 간다. 쉽네.
겨우 이 정도야?
Here, though, it's perfectly fine to use this button.
예술이 뭔지 보여주지. 좋은 전략입니다.
역시 붉은 시선님의 수하들답게 능력도 만만치가 않군요.
Impressive. I expected no less of the Red Gaze's minions.
수아라고?
What'd you say?
아이고, 우리 홉킨스가 말 실수를 해서 제가 대신 사과할게요.
Oh boy, there goes Hopkins again, being clumsy with his tongue. I'll apologize in his stead.
그런데 왜 이렇게 꾸물럭대는 거야, 홉킨스? 치질 다시 도졌어?
What's taking you so long though, Hopkins? Hemorrhoids acting up again?
무슨 말을 하는 거야? 내가 언제?
What? No, I'm not. Don't know what you mean. Hopkins got up after a bit of dawdling. His pockets were laden with something, but I decided not to bother pointing it out. What could he be collecting? Alright, back up. Over here. Let's do this again. Let's see. Yoshu still needs a boost. Otis, you're done. Heathcliff still needs a bit more. And so we'll go with Don Quixote.
길게 끌 거 없어. 바로 간다.
Let's see. It's not always the best approach, but I generally like to handle things as they're attacking my sinners versus other approaches. Alright, so we'll take you. And that's both of them handled. Who's the other? Frontline. So we'll take you. And yes, this does mean that she can redirect, so... But that wouldn't be a bad thing because she does need the sanity too. So let's go with... I wonder, can we see speed ranges? Oh, we haven't looked at this one yet. 1 to 2 speed range. You have to click on a body part to see the speed range. 1 to 4. So these are a lower threat. Generally speaking, kill the fastest enemy, have the faster sinners. That's what you want to aim for. Let's look at your logs. Pecatulum pigritiae. It resembled a rock. I am uncertain how an object of its mass is able to move. Its appearance could not be any less adherent to laws of science, but when I look back, it might have been an inherently scientific object after all. It would levitate in the air and stay still. It rolled its eyeball lodged in the center, and when it felt like it, it would ram into some persons. I am not yet sure what motivates it to move. Even so, I wonder if it's necessary to learn its reasons at all. It's possible that this pebble is alive. No one will call it an organism, but by the same token, I may not be alive if no one refers to me as such. Perhaps it was simply a matter of laziness. We were lazy to think that it mustn't be what it thought to be. That pebble is probably a lazy living being, and the same could be said of me. That's probably you saying. Let's aim for you in the back then. But I still want to finish up Heathcliff, so I'll make sure he's the one clashing.
해보겠습니다.
그냥 쉽네.
You may have noticed that in clashes, sometimes the sinner's dice read a higher value than what their base power and die power should actually lead to. Well, that's because of the level difference and offense level difference. See, this skill has an offense level of 1, and they are level 4. And let's use you as an example. Yes, thank you. This has an offense level of 8 and a level of 6. So, for these abnormalities, despite them being level 4, they have an offense level of still just 1. While this one is level 6, but they have an offense level of 8. And for Don Quixote in particular, they have an offense level 2 higher than their identity level. Usually this stays the same for all skills, but typically if an identity has a higher offense level, they have a lower defense level in respect to their actual level. And I believe for every difference of 3 between a sinner's attack skill and an enemy's attack skill, they will get an additional clash power. That means their rolls, heads or tails, will gain a +1 compared to the enemy, which means the enemies have to roll even higher to overcome that difference. And of course, if you're on the other side of that uneven balance, you'll have to roll even higher to overcome a higher level difference on the enemy's side. We could clash with Heathcliff, but I want to clash with Sinclair instead.
간다.
해냈어요.
Level ain't the be all end all, but it's the easiest thing to focus on. Also, you'll notice that when you use buttons like this, one sinner will use the clash against the remaining enemy, but everyone else will generally take advantage of the staggered enemy. And if I use damage, no one will clash. So that's why you want to be careful of these buttons. It's fine here because they're both probably gonna die in one attack anyway, but in more serious encounters, something to watch out for.
간다.
해냈어요. 아름답진 않네.
And there we go. I think this is taking longer than half an hour. But here is the employee lounge, and as you'll see from this legend here, it is our first checkpoint. Checkpoints. You can find checkpoints as you explore the dungeon. Your sinners will fully heal their HP and reset their SP upon reaching one. When all of your sinners die, you'll be brought back to your last checkpoint. Do note that progress made beyond said checkpoint will be reset as well. Your progress has saved. I do believe you keep all eagle resources, but as you unfortunately see, I was correct in saying that all sinners' SP will be reset. Unfortunate, but what did we expect? You could also adjust them, like if I had different IDs or egos, I could change them here, but otherwise, no. You can also use support IDs. Basically, if you have friends in the game, and this is one of the most important parts about having friends in the game, and why I've been hiding my own ID, is if you had friends, you could borrow one of their IDs or bills for a specific sinner. So, for example, if I had a friend who had a Yi Sang ID that was equipped, that was fully maxed out, top of the line, latest ID with a full ego set, I could borrow it for this battle. But you can only use one support ID for any of these slots. So if I picked a support for Yi Sang, I couldn't pick one for anyone else. It's a massive help, but not something you should rely on, and you can't use it everywhere anyway. But definitely something to keep in mind.
뭐 이쯤이면 적당하겠네요.
Well, I suppose this place is as good as any. As I opened the door, Faust suddenly stood before me.
단테, 눈을 감고 어둠 속에 숨어있는 별을 찾아보세요.
Dante, close your eyes and look for the glimmer hiding in the dark.
너무 찬란하지도 않고 은은하게 드러나고 있는 진리의 별 말이에요.
Find the faint star of truth, twinkling gently. The star. This one won't hurt, right?
별을 찾는 것만이라면 아프지는 않죠.
It shouldn't cause you any pain since you're simply locating it. Something about the way Faust put that bothered me, but I decided to trust her and block my sight.
다시 눈을 뜨면 까마득했던 별은
When you open your eyes, what seemed so far away
당신과 눈을 맞추고 있을 거예요.
will shine right into your vision. That's beautiful. That light, is it only visible to me?
아니요. 당신을 통해서 이젠 모두가
Not quite. Through you, now all of us can see it.
전전에 아니지만 모두가 별을 통해 당신을 통한 혜택을 받을 수 있게 되었죠.
Even though we're inside a dungeon, we can now reap the benefits of your ability through the star.
그럼 얼른 시계 돌려주세요. 어깨뼈 쪽이 아까부터 탈구된 것 같거든요.
Can you please hurry up with the clock then? I think I dislocated my shoulder.
돌린다고요?
그 시계 정말 돌릴 수 있는 거였어요?
The clock? It wasn't just for show?
돌아가기만 하겠어. 엄청 신기한 능력을 가지고 있다고. 유리 씨도 한번 구경해봐.
That's not all it does. They have a really neat power. You should come and take a look, Yuri. Will no one recognize the pain I endure? And there's the stairs. But first, a boss. Info team passage. Let's do this. Strongest first, and then we have to have Gregor because it's basically his dungeon. Wrath, I feel like, is a resource you need the least overall. Not none. You do definitely want some, but it is what I feel like is used the least. I'll go with Otis. Admittedly, I'm far more used to taking teams of 6 sinners, which is basically the norm for later in the game, sometimes even more. But for this beginning portion, 5 is a standard.
끌어넘칠 시간이군요.
상쾌한 기분.
That felt real good. I'm dying here.
그 시계 진짜 신기하네요. 정말 듣도 보도 못한 기술이에요.
What an amazing clock you've got. I haven't seen that technology anywhere.
이 정도면 특이점 수준인데 대체 어떤 날개가 뒤에?
That has to be on the level of a singularity. What wing could be responsible? Hopkins greedily stared at my head. I really tried to ignore it, but looking at his stuffed pockets again.
단테, 왜 네 머리를 붙잡고 있는 거야?
Dante, why are you clutching your head like that? It's nothing.
파우스티안, 관리자께서 가진 시계는 저들의 목숨을 돌려줄 수는 없소?
Miss Faust, can our manager not restore the lives of our guides using the clock's power?
시계는 수감자들에게만 동작해요.
The clock will only work for us sinners.
차라리 그게 낫네.
Oh gee, I suppose that's for the better.
배에 구멍이 숭 났는데 못 죽고 되살아나지면 그게 더 끔찍하잖아?
Imagine you're dragged right back to life with a gaping hole in your stomach. Wouldn't that suck?
아니다. 배가 뚫린 거면 운이 좋은 거지. 몇 초 안에 죽으니까.
Now, you know what? You're lucky if a hole is punched in your gut. You'd be a goner in seconds. Huh? Wait. I did not realize they telegraphed that so obviously. Gosh dang it. There you go, Aya. A hard tentacle erupts from the wall and penetrates Aya's abdomen in an instant.
전원, 전투 준비.
All units, prepare for battle.
내가 말했지.
What'd I tell you?
난 항상 운이 좋았다니까.
I've always been a lucky girl. Aya!
이미 절명했소.
Her life has departed.
자, 이럴 때일수록 정신을 똑바로 차려야 하지 않겠어?
Come now, you'll have to keep it together, especially in times like these, yeah? But
일반적인 공격의 형태를 취하고 있지 않네요. 환상체일 가능성이 높습니다.
the attack is under an unusual form. It's likely that we are facing an abnormality.
관리자님, 명령을 부탁드립니다.
Manager, your command, please. I felt pity for Yuri. She looked at Aya's corpse and then back to us with tears. Nevertheless, Yuri, Hopkins, and Aya. Those three I can't revive. We have to fight now if we don't want any more casualties.
현명한 판단이십니다.
A wise decision, manager.
저 째깍이는 소리가 해석이 되는 건가?
You can make sense of that ticking? Otis gave Hopkins a fiery glare, but soon reminded herself of her priorities and breathed in to shout.
관리자님의 명령이다. 졸개들아!
It's a manager's order, lackeys.
포위 진영을 구축한다. 목표는 전방의 거수자.
You will surround the enemy in formation. The target is the uniform ahead.
네.
Okay.
그런데 저걸 잘하고 칭할 수 있는지가 의문이구만.
To be honest, I'm not sure if you can say that thing has a form. Slowly encroaching vines, followed by the shadow of a figure that looks to be several times taller than a human. Also, the abnormality that we all got sick of at the beginning of the game because it was fucking everywhere. Admittedly, though, it is a bit nostalgic now, but only in hindsight. It was approaching, begetting fright unlike any foe we faced up until now. Ebony Queen's Apple. You have encountered a new abnormality. Please view its abnormality guide. The Abnormality Guide. The Abnormality Guide lists information about the abnormality. The guide will gradually fill up as you battle the abnormality. Raise the observation level by repeatedly encountering and battling the abnormality. Higher observation levels slightly increase the damage you deal against the abnormality. I will tell you right up front, do not rely on this guide. It never seems to work right in my experience, and honestly it is more of a pain than anything, because you'll see a cool new abnormality, try to view its logs, and none of its observation levels are filled in. You'll have to read a wiki about it instead. Maybe they'll fix it completely one day, but one day is a long way away. You may encounter abnormalities with multiple parts in the dungeons you explore. In such cases, each part may have different resistances, passives, and skills. This abnormality's weak point is its fruit part. Target the fruit. I will admit, I do not remember this tutorial, but it's fine. I honestly appreciate it. Alright, here we go.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
You destroy the part of the abnormality. Let us consult the abnormality guide to see if anything has been updated. Dang it, I missed a thing. You destroyed the fruit part. Physical resistance values for destroyed parts become fatal. Please note that parts marked as severable cannot be attacked again once destroyed unless they regenerate. Progressing through the encounter will unlock the enemy's passive information. Reading the details and clues in the enemy's information window is crucial to winning certain battles. An apple's twilight. When the fruit is destroyed, all parts are inflicted with 2 fragile. The fruit regenerates after 1 turn. Continue suppressing this abnormality. She's in the way. Lacking data. Recording the information gained from an encounter with the entity. Company rules, Article 11, Paragraph 2 states that I am to categorize it as an abnormality. When first faced with the sinners, the abnormality showed no signs of hostility. Instead, it initiated direct communication through the psyche. Out of all the languages I knew, the abnormality appeared to use my most commonly spoken one. I did not see any sound-producing organs such as a mouth or vocal cords in motion. Rings no wide. This is what the abnormality said. A report on the former L-Core. I analyzed after this engagement suggests that it has a connection with F-04-42. In addition, I discovered a corpse that seemed to belong to the staff that arrived here before us for preliminary investigation. Their ID confirmed that they were from the Operations Planning Department, so we retrieved the remains and left the scene before battle could break out, concluding the report. Uncertain if this is a sinner or not. It could be from an LCCB team member, or Limbus Company clearance before team, or it could be from one of the more informal sinners, such as Faust or Mersault. And one, as in it will be destroyed for one turn before it comes back. Everything else is destructible, and the stems serving as the arms are severable. Generally speaking, severable is good because that means when you destroy that part, any attacks that could come from that part can no longer occur. Here's where you really get into the issues. Some are still dominating, and of course, this super ID from Season 5 is overpowering, but the more current IDs and base IDs are struggling a bit. So let's see if we can't change that around a bit. Okay, so first, Gregor, it'd help if you actually clash. Ooh, they're struggling. That's why they aren't. Alright, then use a shield against it instead. Let's see. Everything else has already been taken up, so I suppose I will use the spare sinner to attack the weak point. Alright, here we go.
좋아, 간다.
During focus encounters, you, the manager, may occasionally be tasked with making key decisions in choice events. The tide of battle may drastically shift depending on your choices, so choose wisely. Choice events. These choice events function like skill checks. They have a required sin affinity and a threshold to pass. Each choice event represents an affinity advantage. Select a sinner with a matching skill affinity to increase your chances of success. Passing or failing the check will determine the outcome. A heart torn into thousands of pieces must be kept from all eyes. Thus, it burrowed into the ground and tangled itself. Yet someone has to pull up these thorny roots, as there is no wound that can remain unearthed. The sinners gave each other looks. Being coiled in piercing sharp pain was something to avoid, even in one's dreams. The dry earth must be upturned. Which sinner was up to the task? Wrath advantage. Mersault, it's up to you. Mersault walked with shaky steps. With bare hands, they dug up the roots. In their hands were the doubts of others. The sinner realized that while the injury may heal, distrust might take deep root in their heart. The effects of entangling roots expired.
이런 식으로 해결하면 됩니다. 시청자분들.
This is how to handle one such situation, viewers. There goes the vines. Alright. See if you can dodge, Otis. Otherwise, we're just fine. Are you aiming? Okay, good. That's where I want you aiming.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
Get him. There you go. Nice job dodging. The fruit was born again. Maybe this is a chance to destroy it once and for all. What are they doing with their arms? I think that's the first time I've seen that. Let's see, entangling roots, that's a skill we cancelled. At the start of the turn, inflict 1 bind on all enemies. This lasts until the roots have been broken. 1 soul root. The roots gain 2 attack power up for each intact arm. So... just to check. Nope. Struggling, so... Alright, and you're still attacking the apple. Okay, good. Oh, let's do our best, guys.
부드럽게.
결투는 끝나지 않아.
There goes one of them.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
Dang. The sinners peered at its face. They gazed upon the weathered memories within, down to the holes left by pests. An apple does not culminate when it ripens to a glossy red. When the apple browns, cracks, shrivels, and attracts lowly creatures, that is when it has met its golden bliss. The sinners knew now was the time to bring the apple to the earth. The apple is open for attack. Who was the sinner to bring down the apple in its moment of bliss? Mersault, buddy. Pride advantage. Mersault don't care. Mersault brought the apple to the ground. The fall left a dull thud. The fruit was emptied of its lifeblood long ago. Only futility remained. This attack allowed the sinners a brief moment of respite. The fruit got broken. Ebony Queen's apple got staggered.
이런 식으로 해결하면 됩니다. 시청자분들.
Now it doesn't matter. They're dying this turn anyway. But might as well take care of some of the parts. Natty will focus them on them, and the rest might as well.
부드럽게.
결투는 끝나지 않아.
There goes the stun.
불타올랐군요.
And there goes the rest.
뭐야? 끝이야?
So what? That was it?
환상체는 함부로 제압하기 힘들 정도로 강력하다고 들었는데요.
I heard abnormalities were supposed to be so powerful that even suppressing them is a dangerous task.
클리포트 억제력 때문이에요.
It's a cliff-off deterrence in action.
뭐? 커피 포트?
Huh? Coffee pots?
환상체들을 약화시키는 힘이에요. 격리실에서 보다 안전하게 환상체를 관리하기 위해 사용되는 겁니다.
A force that weakens abnormalities. Its original purpose is to safely supervise them and contain them. I think this is new too, but I can't be sure.
황금가지를 회수할수록 그 억제력도 점점 약해져 가겠죠. 지금은 이 정도로 끝났지만.
As we continue our assignment in collecting more golden bows, the deterrence will weaken as well. Although this was a simple battle,
나중엔 100번을 죽었다 깨어나도 힘들 수 있다는 말이네요.
later on, one of them might take our lives more than 100-fold to handle it. That's a terrifying thought. Where did its corpse go anyway? I'm pretty sure that attack did it in.
분명 숨통은 끊어졌습니다. 관리자님의 탁월한 지휘 덕택이죠.
It was felled without a doubt. all thanks to your exceptional command, manager. It couldn't have disappeared into the sky.
역시 관리자님입니다. 그럴 가능성도 배제할 순 없죠.
Brilliant insight as always, manager. Such possibilities cannot be ruled out.
아이, 너희 눈엔 이 단단해 보이는 지하 천장이 안 보이냐?
Is the tough-looking ceiling above us not a thing to you two?
이쪽을 보세요.
Over there. Listless, Yuri pointed at something. The shock of losing Aya must have shaken her badly, but seeing her hold her own and keep her head up, I felt I should let her be and follow along with her for a while. Is that an egg?
환상체의 핵이군요. 적절하게 제압했을 경우 이러한 알의 모양으로 환원되죠.
It's the core of the abnormality. When suppressed via appropriate measures, it will be reduced to this condensed ovate form.
그리고 부화할 거예요. 이 공간에서 일정 시간이 지난다면요.
And it'll hatch once enough time has passed here.
뭐? 그런 개 같은 일이.
Hatch? You've got to be joking.
이것들이 죽지 않는다는 소리인가요?
You mean those things won't die?
환상체는 죽지 않아요. 그래서 엘사의 생산 에너지량이 어마어마했던 거기도 하고요.
Abnormalities simply cannot die. It's one of the factors that contributed to L-Core's massive energy production.
이 상태의 핵을 격리실에 가져다 놓는 게 제가 하는 일이었는데 이젠 반대네요.
As an employee, my job was to put the core back in its containment unit. Now things have changed.
알이 다시 깨어나기 전까지 저희가 해야 할 일은 뭐죠?
What can we do before this egg hatches?
림버스 컴퍼니에는 이런 환상체들을 담당하는 부서가 별도로 있어요. 그들이 회수해 갈 겁니다.
Limbus Company has a department dedicated to dealing with abnormalities like this. They'll retrieve them for us.
그 애프터 팀이요? 안내받을 때 들었던 기억이 나네요.
Right. Was it the after team? I remember hearing about them during orientation.
그럼 시간 끌지 말고 빨리 부르지 그래.
What's stopping you from calling them now?
연락은 메피스토 팰리스에서 가능합니다.
The transmission device is on Mephistopheles.
그건 그렇겠지.
Figures.
너무 걱정할 필요는 없습니다. 황금가지만 찾는다면 실어도 돌아갈 테니까요.
No need to worry. Once we have the golden bow, we'll return whether we like it or not. What an odd choice of phrasing. We went down a floor.
이곳을 다시 오게 될 줄 몰랐어요.
I didn't think I'd come back here.
대체적으로 로보토미 지부들은 여러 개의 층으로 구성이 되어 있어요.
Most of Lobotomy Corporation's facilities consist of multiple floors.
그리고 각자 층마다 주인이 되는 환상체들이 존재할 거예요.
And each floor is expected to be occupied by an abnormality marking its domain.
어? 아까 그런 게 또 나온다고?
Seriously? There's more of them?
그런 전투 정보? 아니 그걸 대체 어떻게 알고 있는 거야?
So, where'd you figure all that info about what we'll face and stuff?
파우스트는 모든 걸 알고 있어요.
Faust knows it all.
안내에서는 비포 팀이 사전 정찰을 한다고 하더라고요.
The guide said a before team does reconnaissance in advance.
그냥 네가 관계자라서 하는 것뿐이잖아.
So you only know that because you have ties to the staff.
틀린 말을 하진 않았잖아요.
I never claimed otherwise.
어쨌든 주요 적군이 매 층에 하나씩은 존재한다는 거군.
Anyway, this means we should expect a great threat on every floor.
등 뒤에 적을 두고서 전진하는 멍청한 일은 할 수 없으니 결국 그 층의 환상체를 정리해야만 하겠군.
It'd be idiotic to advance into the unknown without making sure that we're clear of danger in at least one direction, leaving us with no choice but to take them down as we go.
파우스트가 할 말을 앗아가 버렸네요.
You took the words right out of Faust's mouth.
말하지 않더라도 의도를 전달할 수 있다면 그보다 이상적인 것은 없지 않겠소.
Is it not a splendid thing to be able to convey your intentions before they have been verbalized?
단테, 별을 볼 때예요.
Dante, it's time to see the star. I'm your manager, not a scapegoat, you know. Ego gift get. Ebony Brooch. For the first 3 turns of battle, inflict 2 bind on all enemies. I do not remember this gift. Info team lobby. Enter. Progress saved. HP restored. SP reset. And this is where ego gifts go. Let's see what we're looking at. Info team lobby, employee waiting room, containment hall 4 and 5, canteen, reserve passageway, critical abnormality block. And if you zoom out, you can see the top floor we were on above, and very faintly what's below too. But we'll leave that alone for now. Employee waiting room. Jeez, how long is this recording going on for? We've been here for over an hour. As always, things take drastically longer than I think they will. Well, like it or not, we're not leaving until this dungeon is cleared. So, let's gather up our courage and do this.
이 오티스 참전합니다.
Another veteran appeared in the dark, carrying a depressed aura. His sparkling old badge seemed to signify a high rank once held.
그레고르 과장?
Manager Gregor.
당신 얼굴은 알 것도 같아. 왜 난 읽지?
I think I remember that face of yours, but why?
자네 부장이었다.
Decrepit G-Corps head manager. I was the head manager of your team.
혼자 도망친 것도 모자라. 이젠 옛 전우이자 내 부하 녀석들까지 죽였군.
Not only did you desert us, you now have the audacity to take the lives of your old comrades, my subordinates.
이봐, 전쟁은 10년 전에 끝났어. 아직도 병정놀이에서 벗어나지 못했나?
Look, the war ended a decade ago, but I guess some folks still haven't let go of their obsolete ranks, huh?
끝나? 아무것도 안 끝났다.
Ended? Nothing has ended.
아무것도 끝나지 않았다고.
Nothing has ended. Damn it.
G사에서 도망치면서 네 전쟁은 끝났을지도 모르겠지만
The war may have been over for you when you deserted G-Corps.
우리는 아직도 전쟁의 한복판에 계속 서 있다.
But we're fighting for our lives on the battlefield to this day.
아, 이런 동질감은 갖고 싶진 않았지만
As much as I didn't want to relate to you this way,
나라고 크게 다르지도 않아.
I'm not really that different here.
그렇다면 이해해야지, 과장.
Then you ought to understand, Gregor.
전쟁터에서 배신자에게 내려지는 결론은 항상 똑같다고.
There is only one verdict that awaits deserters.
그럴듯하긴 말하지만 복수를 위한 즉결처형은 사칙 위반이야. 부장 양반.
You say that like it means something, but it's against company policy to carry out summary execution for personal revenge, my head manager. Let's see. Hardened veteran, downcast veteran, embittered veteran, old G-Corps head manager. No logs for these guys because they are technically just human enemies.
부드럽게.
Come on, Gregor, you're better than this. Try that again.
부드럽게.
좋은 전략입니다.
There you go.
끝나지 않아.
자! 다음은 완전한 침묵.
Alright, they're going there.
부드럽게. 균형이 무너졌군요.
좋은 전략입니다.
Bye bye. Perhaps the time this ex-soldier spent off the battlefield was long enough to rust his prowess. The head manager, who must have defeated countless enemies in his glory days, was now nearing his own end.
한때는 널 존경하는 자들도 있었지, 그레고르.
You are once well respected, Gregor.
존경해달라고 부탁한 적은 없었어.
I never really asked for respect.
더 이상은 전진하지 마라. 그곳은 지옥이야.
Don't proceed any further. Only hell awaits you.
미안하지만 그러기는 힘들 것 같아. 성실하게 일하지 않으면 잘리거든.
Sorry, but I don't think I can follow your advice. I ought to be a go-getter if I don't want to be fired.
돈에 명예까지 팔아버린 거냐?
Have you abandoned your honor for some pittance?
대저녁에 훈장이랑 같이 팔았지. 집주인이 월세를 독촉해서 말이야.
I sold that away long ago, right with my medal. Landlord couldn't wait for rent any longer. A bitter smile appeared on the head manager's face.
너도 우리와 다를 것 없군.
You're no different from us.
결국 우리는
In the end, we're
역겨운 벌레 새끼들일 뿐.
nothing but disgusting pests. He took a few more shallow breaths, then ceased to move.
어이, 담배 좀 빌릴 수 있나?
Hey, mind if I borrow a cig?
이번만이다.
Just this once. Gregor put the borrowed cigarette next to the one he already held in his mouth, then lit it and tossed it on the chest of the deceased commander.
미안. 저거한테 내 담배를 나눠서 물려주기는 싫었거든.
Sorry, didn't want to share mine with that thing. Ironically, I think Ryoshu appreciated that more than if he simply took it for himself. Ryoshu gave a snort. The smoke from Gregor's cigarette lingered with the prevailing silence in the air for a short while. Yeah, this is fine.
목표인가요? 손쉽죠. 이곳부터는 폐장병들이 머물렀던 흔적조차 보이지 않네요.
There appear to be no more signs of the ex-soldiers from this point onward.
더 이상 전진은 하지 말라고도 경고하던데.
The commander did warn us not to go further. As we proceeded, we discovered bodies that seemed to have been there for quite some time.
이건 우리 아니 엘사 직원들의 시체예요.
These are our, no, Elcor's employees.
둔기로 맞은 흔적이요. 천원이 그러하구려.
I see traces of blunt instruments. All the bodies share them, in fact.
관리 기록서. 이건 환상체 관리법을 적어두는 문서예요.
A management report. This document contains instructions for keeping abnormalities in check. I'm gonna hide the UI for a second. Blowy sword.
보통 관리 업무를 지정받으면 지겨울 정도로 암기 일려서 들어가니까 이런 건 필요 없는데.
Normally, employees tasked with catering to abnormalities memorize the instructions to the point of reciting them flawlessly. They don't usually carry notes like these.
추측컨대 환상체가 탈출했고 아무도 관리법을 알지 못했던 게 아닐까 하오만.
I dare suspect that no remaining employees had the necessary information when an abnormality breached.
아직 격리실로 운반하지 않은 날들이었다면 그럴 수도 있겠네요.
If the eggs weren't moved into containment yet, that could be the case. There are way too many corpses here.
대체 어떤 환상체길래 이렇게 많은 수의 직원들이?
What kind of abnormality could have massacred all these employees?
잠깐, 이게 무슨 냄새죠?
Wait, what's this smell?
이번에 사무실에서 비싼 장비를 하나 장만했죠.
You see, our office purchased an expensive device the other day.
얜 또 뭐라는 거냐?
What are you on about?
특정 층부터는 독성 검출이 높아진다고 그런 소문을 들은 적이 있었거든요.
Sources suggested that toxin levels started to rise after a certain floor.
나 아까부터 귀에서 피가 흐르는데 이거 괜찮은 거야?
I've been bleeding from my ears a bit. Is this okay?
없이 어찌 전투를
No battle is without adversity. Cough.
지속 노출되면 신체에서 지속적으로 출혈을 일으킨다거든요.
I was told that continued exposure to it may cause bleeding, like that.
정작 그렇게 말하는 본인은 너무 멀쩡한데?
How are you so fine, though?
이거 예전에 보급되었던 환상체 체압용 독성 가스탄이에요.
It's the anti-abnormality gas grenade supplied to employees.
시체들 사이에서 폭발이라도 했나봐요.
One must have gone off somewhere between the bodies here.
확실히 이 부근부터는 도끼가 꽤 진해지는군요.
True, the toxicity levels do appear to be intense around this area. Hopkins had put on a gas mask before we noticed.
뭐야, 우린 저런 거 없어?
Hey now, what about us?
제공되는 보급품은 따로 없었습니다.
We weren't granted any additional supplies.
이 새끼, 넌 일찌감치 알고 있었냐? 버러지 같은 자식.
You slippery rat, you knew all this time? You're not getting away with... Heathcliff stopped mid-sentence and fell to one knee.
흥분하면 혈류가 더 빨라집니다. 독이 금방 퍼진다는 거죠.
Your blood flow will quicken if you're agitated. In other words, the toxin will spread faster.
자리에서 되도록 날뛰지 말고 최대한 천천히 호흡하세요.
Try to remain calm, minimize movement, and breathe at regular intervals.
호킨스 씨, 왜 미리 말을 해주시지 않으셨어요?
Hopkins, why didn't you tell me about this?
나야말로 물어보자 유리.
Oh, I've got a question for you too, Yuri.
별 기대도 안 하고 들여놓은 짐짝 같은 사람한테 가뜩이나 비싼 물건을 축낼 만한 사실을 왜 알려야 하지?
Why would I make our office waste our precious funds on expensive gadgets for dead weight like you to use?
냉정하게 말하면 우리 사무실에 네가 발을 들인 것도 놀라운 거야.
If we're being real, it's a miracle that you managed to join us in the first place.
나야는 널 귀엽게 봐서 챙겨주려고 했을지는 몰라도 지금은 죽었는데 무슨 상관이야?
Maybe Aya took pity and gave you special treatment, but she's gone now, so who cares?
이거팔 새끼. 그러고 살고 싶냐?
Sneaky blighter. Is that how you want to live?
해결사에게 비겁이라니 되도 않는 말을 하네.
Don't be silly. Everything's fair game for a fixer.
붉은 시선님이 데리고 다니는 이들이길래 누군지나 보려고 했더니
Hearing that the Red Gaze had company tickled my curiosity, but as it turns out...
제대로 된 도구나 정보도 없이 여길 기어들어오는 미친놈들이었을 줄이야.
You were just a bunch of ragtag lunatics who thought it'd be a good idea to walk straight into these facilities with zero prep.
저딴 새끼를 그냥 두고만 봐야 한다니.
What a sick joke. Can't do anything but watch. Feeling the ire towards him, Hopkins backed away and scurried to the
그래도
exit.
덕분에 엔케팔린은 쏠쏠하게 얻어갈 수 있었어.
Well, at least I managed to grab an armful of enkephalin thanks to you.
창피할 테니까 질식사 말고 행방불명이라고 보고해줄게.
I'll write in my report that you all went missing, cause suffocated to death is just too embarrassing.
그럼
Kata. Yuri slumped to the floor, watching blood pour from her nose to her hands. And she's not the only one. Rhodia, Heathcliff, and the other sinners are suffering from blood loss too. Gregor?
유품이나 챙겨주려고 들고 왔던 건데.
Tisk. I took this with me so you could have something to remember her by. He was holding the same type of gas mask as the one Hopkins wore. But why?
아야씨가 넌 챙겨주려고 했었다면서. 그럼 네 거지.
Heard Aya gave you special treatment, didn't she? This is as good as yours, then.
보고도 없이 기어들어온 미친 놈들은 다 살아남을 구멍이 있으니까 걱정 말고.
As for our unprepared band of lunatics, we do have a way out. Don't worry about us. Coughing up blood, Yuri put on the mask.
알고 있어요.
I know he's right.
밤낮 없이 굳은 일을 도맡아봤자 아무 연고도 없이 사무실에 인정받는 게 쉬운 일이 아니란 거지만
I know earning recognition from an office of strangers is a hard thing to do, even if I take on all kinds of errands day and night.
지부가 폐쇄될 때까지 남은 시간은 고작 3분이었고
There were only 3 minutes left until the branch was locked down.
구제노보를 시작합니다.
Initiating site burial.
제 눈앞에서 문이 닫혀가고 있었어요.
The doors were about to close on me.
에너지 전송 85% 완료.
Energy transfer is 85% complete.
유리, 날 두고 가지 마. 유리!
Yuri, don't leave me behind. Yuri!
그럼 난 도대체 어쩌라는 거예요?
So what else am I supposed to do?
살아남은 게 죄인가요?
Is it so wrong that I survived?
동료들이랑 같이 파묻히기라도 했어야 해요?
Should I have been buried alive alongside my co-workers?
환생체들이 도시로 빠져나오면 안 된다는 이유로 회사가 통째로 폐쇄되고 있는데
When the whole building was going under, also the abnormalities won't escape?
죄지. 이곳에선.
It is a sin, at least down here.
그 말은 좀 아프네요. 그레고르 씨.
That stings a little, Gregor. Standing astounded, I snapped back to reality and checked on the sinners. Half of them had already passed away on the floor, and Ishmael's head drooped just after she said her last words. A sin.
그러면 뭐 어떠냐?
But so what, buddy?
계속 뻔뻔하게 살아남아야지.
You've got to live on like it's nobody's business.
일일이 죄책감 부여하다간 네 마음이 남아나지 않아.
Laying guilt on yourself over spilled milk will wear your heart out. With Gregor drawing his last breath, Yuri and I became the only surviving members standing in the area. Don't worry too much about us. I can take them back there and revive them. I knew mechanical ticking was all Yuri could hear, but I did my best to communicate my message to her nonetheless. I know. Yuri ended the conversation with not a word after. After a long period of awkward gloom, the toxic gas finally dispersed.
이제 괜찮은 것 같네요.
Looks like it's okay now. Oh yeah.
도울게요. 가서 빨리 살리고 오죠.
I'll give you a hand. Let's go bring your people back to life. Saying that, Yuri took the gas mask off and calmly carried the sinners on her shoulders, one by one. Unsure what to say for her, I remained quiet. Doomsday Clay Doll. Recording the information gained from an encounter with the entity. Company rules. Article 11, paragraph 2 states I am to categorize it as an abnormality. Company rules. Article 11, paragraph 2, addendum 3 states I am to categorize it as a subordinate entity of the stone plate abnormality. It wore a mask that resembled a crude diver's helmet. It appeared to be made of a stone with high hardness, its exterior well polished. Correction. Rather than polished, it appears to have been made that way. I was unable to detect any signs of artificial processing. Its body resembled muscle fibers. The lack of skin or other protective surface made it appear highly fragile, but a large number of these entities are expected to be more difficult to deal with. Concluding the report. I will report findings from a direct confrontation next time. Okay, so this is probably Mersal. Alright, we're good.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게. 완전한 침묵.
No passes. Someone is doing something dumb. You. Hey now, that's a bit much. Let's use all of the unopposed ones to use you. Make sure you're still flashing. There we go. And there we go.
하라고? 나? 뭐 최선은 다해보겠다만.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
끝나지
오, 생각보다 잘 들어갔네.
자!
Honestly, that's fine.
부드럽게.
좋은 결정.
좋은 전략입니다.
불타올랐군요.
The canteen, and this is an event space. Yep, event. Let's see what's in store. Were those abnormalities responsible for killing all the employees?
아니에요. 아마 제 짐작이 맞다면
I doubt that. If my guess is right,
전방을 주시하십시오, 관리자님. 아까랑 똑같은 놈이 하나 더 있습니다.
keep your eyes ahead, manager. There's another one of them. A humanoid being wearing the head of a statue was sitting against the wall.
안녕. 너희도 제비뽑기를 하러 왔니?
A survivor? Statue head. Hi? Are you here to draw your lot?
사원증을 다 모아서 주면 당첨자를 고르는 거야.
Gather all your IDs and give them to me. Then we'll find the winner. The winner of these kinds of lotteries are never in for a good time. Its hand was barely grasping onto the strap of an employee ID card. Alex was a name written on it.
알렉스.
Alex.
제정신이 아닌데. 당첨자 타령은 뭐야?
Gone nuts, hasn't she? And what's that babble about winners?
어떤 환상체들은 관리법에 정기적으로 희생물을 정해 바치라고 쓰여져 있었죠.
Some abnormalities demanded regular offerings as part of the managerial guidelines.
그쪽으로 가면 안 돼. 그것들이 곧 찾아낼 거야.
You shouldn't go that way. They will find you.
그리고 결국 인신공양에 있었던 거구나. 그렇지?
And the offering happened, didn't it?
네가 뽑을 차례야.
It's your turn to draw. Offering?
인신 공양을 하지 않으면 어떻게 되는데요?
What happens if no human sacrifice is made?
그건 몰라요. 관리법은 항상 철저히 지켜졌었거든요.
We never found out. We followed every procedure without fail.
탈출해서 닥치는 대로 사람을 죽이고 다녔던 건가요?
I guess it escaped and started killing people left and right.
그 환상체라는 놈 되게 졸렬한가 보네. 만나면 뒤통수를 까고 다니나 보지?
Ha! That abnormality must have been one spineless bugger. Does it thwack victims in the back of the head?
그게 무슨 말이에요?
What do you mean?
단체로 눈이 삐기라도 했냐? 그건 사람이 낸 상처였어. 서로 한 대라도 더 때리려고 기를 썼더만.
Did you all get jabbed in the eyes or what? Those wounds were clearly left by humans. You can tell they were beating the shite out of each other.
저 등신들은 지들끼리 치고받다가 뒤진 거야.
Those thickos killed each other in a fight.
왜 그런 건데요?
But for what reason?
뻔하지.
It's clear as day.
지부가 무너지고 한동안은 어떻게든 살아남을 거라 생각했을 거야.
Probably figured they could survive a while even after the branch was buried.
꾸준히 사람을 바치기만 한다면 언젠간 구조가 될 수도 있으니까.
Keep offering folks from time to time, and the rest might get rescued one day.
제비 뽑기로 몇 달은 버텼겠지. 일단 한 놈만 죽으면 잠깐은 버틸 수 있으니까.
Guess they kept the lots going for a few months. It was the safest way they had to keep the thing in check.
근데 그걸 희생자가 고지곳대로 받아들이겠냐?
Problem though, you think the one picked as the fall guy will gladly accept his fate?
내가 죽을 바엔 눈앞에 있는 놈 머리통을 터뜨리겠어.
If I was them, I'd rather strangle the bloke next to me.
그럼 적어도 지금 내가 받쳐지는 일은 없을 테니까.
Better them than me, ain't that right?
뭐 그렇게 흘러갔겠지.
And the rest is history, I bet.
그러다 마지막으로 살아남아서 그들과 같은 석상을 뒤집어 쓰고 있으면.
And the last survivor put on the stone mask belonging to the statue heads,
인신 공양을 피할 수 있을 거라고 생각했군요.
believing that it'll save her from being sacrificed.
그럴 리가 없어요. 알렉스는 자기가 살려고 남을 죽이는 직원이 절대...
That can't be. Alex wouldn't kill others just so she could live.
그걸 네가 어떻게 알아? 저놈이 진짜 알렉스인지 확실하지도 않잖아.
How do you know that? You can't even be sure if that's actually Alex or not.
한 가지 조언을 해줄까?
Let me give you a tip.
그들이 직접 데리러 오기 전에 직접 걸어가는 편이 훨씬 편할 거야.
You'll be much better off going on your own foot before they come take you.
이만 떠나지. 이자는 곧 숨을 거둘 거다.
Let us be on our way. This person will perish before long. While everyone else moved along, Yuri remained in place and continued to stare down the statue-clad individual.
네 잘못이 아니었어. 알고 있지?
It wasn't your fault. You know it's not, right?
날 두고 가, 유리. 제발 날 두고 가.
Leave me behind, Yuri. Please leave me. Time to go. They're rummaging through corpses, looking for something. Relentless demands for an offering ring in the ears. They look like they might jump us at any second. You see a dying person nearby, gasping for air. Should you offer this person up, or... Offer the person. All allies lose SP, gain an ego gift. Don't offer the person. Begin a combat encounter. Win to gain a stronger ego gift. Offer a sinner? Who knows? We also didn't get these subtexts at the start of the game. These were only added much later. As was this event, I imagine, because I don't remember it. Angered by your inaction, the clay dolls attacked you. Win the next battle to gain ego gift, Bloodied Mask of a Devotee. Okay, let's see. You're done, Gregor. Not yet, Otis. You're done, Mersault. Alright, let's go Sinclair Ryoshu.
이게 최선이겠죠?
Someone isn't doing their part. There we go.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
She'll be fine.
예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
Sinclair.
예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
불타올랐군요.
All allies gain +5 offense level and +5 defense level. Very nice. Another checkpoint. Cafeteria. Onward. We all know who this is.
목표인가요? 손쉽죠.
Doomsday Calendar. I was ordered to describe facts about this in detail, so I observed. Placed on a wooden pedestal that seemed as though it was woven from fibers of muscles was a large stone plate. As I approached it, its compartment of bricks began to rattle. Seized by curiosity, I attempted to step closer for a better look. Alas, my colleagues strongly discouraged me from doing so, so I turned away. One thing I can say with confidence is that it was likely a tool for predicting a date of some kind, judging from the many letters carved on the bricks. Such is all I have to say. Those letters are from an ancient language. If Yiseng's depiction is correct, that plate is almost certainly a calendar. We can't even attack it yet.
좋아, 간다. 좋아, 간다.
불타올랐군요.
The abnormality looks upset. It seems to want something, but what should we give? Six slots, which means I have to let an attack through. An attack, not none. Alright, everyone here? No, you. Alright, so nobody really. Alright, I'm gonna have to handle this more carefully. So, first, we're gonna take care of the statue. So, let's start with you. And you. Finally, you. As for these, I'll have someone handle Quake. And let's see, Quake is being done by the right arm. The left arm isn't even being used.
좋아, 간다.
There are many ways to calm one down, but this abnormality seems to like gifts the most. A fresh batch of blood might be able to appease it. I haven't managed to kill a clay doll, so I can't offer it, so I'll have to sacrifice some health. It looks like one of the sinners will have to do a clay doll's job. Who will appease the abnormality? You. It appears that Ishmael's blood was fresh enough. Satiated, the abnormality calmed down for a moment. Ishmael loses 20 HP. All of Doomsday calendar parts gain 3 attack power down.
이 정도는 하급 임무 추계도 안 되네요.
Wouldn't even count as a low rank mission. Well done, we got one of the parts. Let's deal with the rest like this. Still focusing on the dolls first, though. Okay, let's see. Have I figured out? No, I haven't. Alright, first, Ishmael. same one. And you. It leaves you to deal with this, and you to deal with that. Alright. Congrats, Ishmael.
불타올랐군요.
순조로운 전략입니다.
Frenzy. During phase 3, at the start of the turn, inflict reburn on all enemies. Well, at least we're not out of slots, but we can't attack them with a spare slot because Ishmael went and got herself staggered. Well, that's the best we can do, ain't it?
명령대로 하겠습니다.
The heat of the abnormality is wearing everyone down. We'll have to make an offering to calm its wrath. And of course, none of them. So I'm gonna have to be even more careful about this. Alright. So, Gregor. Nobody's aiming for Otis. 2 are aiming for Honglu, so we'll take one of them. There's no point in redirecting a defense skill, and you're aiming for Ishmael. So there's still one that I can't redirect because everyone else is too slow. Might as well. And you aim for them.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
좋은 결정.
To weaken the flame, you'll need cool water. Since we aren't carrying any buckets of water, we should offer up someone cool instead. Offer a clay doll. You gave a living clay doll as tribute. The flame shrunk to a flicker. Doomsday Calendar loses 100 HP. Frenzy of Doomsday Calendar expired. Now, I know what comes next, so I'm gonna focus everyone on the calendar, actually. This may seem like a poor idea, but if they survive this turn, you'll see why. You sense a dangerous glow. Universe of Flame. Attack weight, unclashable, targets allies. Basically, this kills all their allies, so you can't offer a clay doll up. You have to offer a sinner. And even if you win, the choice that comes next, you still probably lose your sinner because it costs 100 HP, and only Ishmael at full health at this juncture even has that much max HP.
임무 중에 찾아오시면 안 되는데.
Barely. So yeah. Oop.
좋은 전략입니다.
There we go.
2층에는 유독 구더기들이 많이 보이네.
This floor is crawling with maggots. These bugs aren't so bad after the last floor's abnormality. Don't want anything like that ever again.
그거 그렉이 들으면 기뻐하겠다. 안 그래 벌레 친구?
First, sure, Greg would be glad to hear that, aren't you, Buggy Buddy? But Gregor wasn't paying attention to Rodia.
다들 아까부터 무슨 소리 안 들려?
Don't you all hear something?
소리라면 계속 들렸잖아요. 로저 씨, 이 상황에서까지 배가 고픈 거예요?
We've been hearing a constant growl. Rodia, are you really that hungry at a time like this?
그런 건 모르는 척하는 거야. 응?
Hey, you're supposed to let that kind of stuff slide. Please, girl?
아니, 그거 말고 마치
No, not that. It's like... For the first time on the expedition, Gregor walked ahead of the group and opened the door next to him, as if by some compulsion.
잠깐, 거긴 환상체 격리실.
Wait, that's a containment unit.
마치 그때처럼.
It's like that time. No, the door was already open. Gregor gazed into the shower of golden light pouring from the room. Gregor!
우리 시간 여행이라도 한 걸까요?
Did we travel back in time? I see an overcast sky. Cries and screams twist and ring out at a distance. And in that sky, gunfire and artillery create a cacophony.
딱 보면 모르는가? 이곳은
Isn't it clear enough? This is
전장, 한복판.
a battlefield, the heart of it. Gosh, that's pretty.
이건 꿈? 악몽? 왜 또다시?
Am I dreaming? Or a nightmare? Why? Why here again?
그러니까 왜 전장 한복판에 있냔 말이야? 함정이라도 빠진 거 아니야?
So why the hell are we in a bloody battlefield? Is this a trap or something?
아니요. 길을 잘 찾은 것 같군요.
No, we're on the right track.
멀지 않은 곳에 우리가 찾던 기술의 정수가 있습니다.
The essence of the technology we're looking for is not far from here.
황금가지요?
You mean the golden bow? Midst of the smoke war.
네. 다들 이곳이 언제인지 알아보시겠나요?
Correct. Do you recognize when this was?
눈이라는 게 있다면 한눈에 알아보겠지.
Anyone with functioning eyes should know at a glance. I actually don't. I confess.
관리자님은 모르는 게 당연합니다. 관리자님께서는 눈이 없으시니.
It's obvious that you wouldn't recognize this, manager. You don't have eyes that fit conventional definitions.
그걸 변명이라고 하나요?
Was that the best excuse you have? Otis cleared her throat as if to mask her embarrassment, then turned her narrow gaze to the battlefield.
소속을 과시하는 듯한 형형색색 촌스러운 깃발들이 나부끼는 걸로 봐선
Judging from the colorful wave of garish flags showing off the factions in play,
연기 전쟁이 발발한 지 최소 70일 후.
this is at least 70 days into the smoke war.
입니다, 관리자님.
This concludes briefing, manager. Suddenly, there was a strong tug at Heathcliff's coat from behind.
당신들 미쳤어? 어서 대피해! 저 폭탄에 노출되면 급격하게 노화가 진행된다고!
Are you out of your minds? You need shelter. Now, you'll age rapidly if exposed to that bomb's blast.
엽초소 직원들은 지금 전쟁이고 뭐고 지팡이 없이는 걷지도 못한다니까.
The outpost next to ours turned into a nursing home. They can't even walk without sticks.
대체 이 자식은 누군데 아는 척을?
Who the hell are you and why do you act like you know us?
그레고로 과장님, 고생 많으십니다.
Oh, Manager Gregor. My respects, sir. The bandaged man snapped to attention and saluted Gregor as soon as he saw him. You.
저를 모르시겠죠? 생체관리팀 토마입니다.
Reminisced soldier, Toma. You wouldn't recognize me, sir. I'm Toma from Biomimetics Maintenance.
선발 대열에 계신 줄 알았는데 후방에 있었을 줄은 몰랐네요.
I thought you were part of the front unit. I didn't expect to find you here at the back.
합류를 해야 하는 거면 제가 도와드릴까요? 전 다리 특화형이어서 점프에는 자신이.
Are you on your way to the front? I could help you get there since the augmentation on my legs allows me to jump.
말만 들어도 징그러워.
Weh, that sounds gross. Toma looked at Rodeo with suspicion.
당신 방금 무슨 말을?
You, what did you just...
도마, 대리... 사원인가?
Hey, Toma, so you're an assistant manager or regular staff?
네, 2등 사원입니다.
Sir, yes, sir. I'm an assistant private, sir. Assistant private? Unless I'm mistaken, private is already the lowest tier of soldier there is. Anything subordinate to private may as well be equipment.
이쪽은 아직 시술된 지 얼마 안 된 직원이라 정신착란 부작용이 해결되지 않았어. 내가 잘 타이르지.
Or, you see, she's a new hire who had her procedure not too long ago, so still getting over the confusion, you know? I'll give her a good talking to.
그렇군요. 아무리 그래도 전시에 준비도 안 된 직원을.
I get it. Our corporation must be getting desperate, sending unprepared employees to battle.
미안하네. 내가 급히 데려갈 일이 있어서.
Yeah, we're sorry for the trouble. I've got to take her somewhere real quick. Gregor practically yanked himself out of the conversation and hurriedly walked to Faust.
어떻게 된 거지, 파우스트 씨? 이건
Just what's going on, Faust. These are
내 기억이잖아.
my memories.
정확히는 자아 심도예요.
We're in the fathoms of your ego, to be precise.
당신의 마음속에 나 있는 하나의 길. 즉,
An open path in your psyche. In other words,
우리가 그레고르 씨의 마음 안에 들어오게 되었다는 뜻이죠.
we've entered your heart and mind, Gregor. Etched Doomsday. On the first turn of battle, inflict 1 burn on all enemies 5 times. Defense line 23-7, 1100 hours. Smoke War Central Front. Defense line 23-7, 1100 hours. Key foothold. Defense line 23-7, 1300 hours. Defense line 23-7, 1536 hours. Or 1536 hours. That's bad. Whenever you have a timeline to disaster, when you stop counting hours and start getting into the minutes, that's when you know something bad happens.
목표인가요? 손쉽죠.
토할 것 같아요. 눈앞의 것들이 모조리 일렁이고 있어서.
God, I think I'm gonna throw up. Everything is wobbling.
심압이 높아지고 있는 것 같군요.
It will appear that psychogenic pressure is rising.
하지만 무슨
But you should be Fine.
불안한 악몽을 꾸었던 적이 있었던 것 같다.
I think I once had an unsettling nightmare. Central front in the smoke wall.
혹은 아직도 악몽을 꾸고 있는 것일지도 모르겠다.
Maybe I'm still in one, even now.
이 공간에 존재하는 색이라고는 단 두 개다.
In this dream, there are only two colors in the room where I stand.
벽을 온통 뒤덮은 청색, 그리고 흔들리는 적색.
The blue covering every wall and the dangling dot of red.
그리고 난 이곳을 나가는 방법에 대해 알고 있다.
I know how to get out of here too.
팔을 뻗어 무기력하게 흔들리는 사과를 조각내기만 하면 되는 것이었다.
All I had to do was stretch out my arm and cut the hanging apple.
红색 가운을 입은 자들은 내가 그 조건을 이해하지 못하는 것처럼 보였는지
The people in blue coats seemed to think I failed to understand that.
하루에도 몇 번씩 찾아와서 설명을 반복했지만
They will come in several times a day and explain it to me, over and over.
안타깝게도 내가 이해하지 못하는 것은 그런 것이 아니었다.
Unfortunately for them, that wasn't the part I struggled to understand.
마침내 이해하기를 포기하고 동강난 사과가 땅에 떨어지던 그때
When I finally gave up thinking about it and the sliced apple fell to the floor,
닫혀있던 문이 열렸다.
the door was opened.
계기는 기억나지 않는다.
I don't remember what drove me to do it.
정신적으로 너무 지쳐 있었던 걸지도 모르고
Maybe I was exhausted mentally.
그냥 체념하기로 결심했던 걸지도 모른다.
Or maybe I thought to resign myself to it.
어찌됐든 악몽에서 벗어나고 싶다는 생각을 했다는 것만 제대로 기억이 난다.
In either case, what I do remember is my desire to break free from the nightmare.
드디어 해냈네. 그럴 줄 알았어. 성공적인 수술이었거든.
You finally did it. I knew you could. The surgery was successful after all.
앞으로도 그렇게 하면 된단다. 눈앞에 사과를 조각내는 거야. 간단하지?
You just have to keep it up. Chop up the apples in front of you. Simple, isn't it?
아, 맞다. 15번째 생일을 축하해.
Oh, right. Happy 15th birthday.
네.
Okay.
포기와 체념을 통해 벗어난 악몽.
A nightmare I escaped through renunciation and resignation.
어느 날 아침 꿈에서 깨어나고 나니
One day, as I awoke from my unsettling dreams,
나는 한 마리 흉측한 해충으로 변해 있었음을 발견할 수 있었다.
I had found myself transformed into some hideous pest.
사과를 조각낸다.
I cut apples in half.
어떤 건 딱딱했고 퍼석했고 물렀고 과즙이 많았다.
Some were hard, some crumbly, some were soft, some sappy.
생내가 퍼질 때마다 가끔 구역질이 났다.
The sugary smell made me sick sometimes.
깨달은 건 언제였을까?
At some point, I realized something.
꿈에서 깨어났다고 생각했지만
I thought I woke up from the dream.
나는 여전히 악몽의 한가운데였다는 것을.
But I was still right in the middle of that nightmare. Recollected a wry soldier, wallowing, overtaken soldier. Corroded augmentation. At the start of the turn, if at less than 50% HP, healed 4 HP. Interest.
부드럽게.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
저 좋은 결정.
누구도 볼 수 없게.
균형이 무너졌군요.
좋은 전략입니다.
불타올랐군요.
해오던 대로 방송을 켜겠다.
It feels weird seeing these silhouettes in the sky and realize that they're soldiers and not something else. Also feels weird that every one of these flashes in the background is not standard rifle fire or from any gun, but from physical clashes, chitting against whatever weapons the enemy brought. Or is it pronounced chitin?
절대 끝나지 않았다.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
부드럽게.
좋은 결투.
균형이 무너졌군요.
완전한 침묵. 완전한 침묵.
해오던 대로 방송을 켜겠다.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
다시 결투는 끝나지 않았다.
균형이 무너졌군요.
좋아, 간다.
균형이 무너졌군요.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
딱 좋은 결투였다.
You're done. You're done. Come on in.
이게 최선이겠죠?
또 전쟁터 한가운데.
Still in the battlefield.
아까랑 같은 장소네요. 조금 달라졌지만
It's the same place as before, though something about it is different. There was a strong tug at Heathcliff's coat from behind.
당신들 미쳤어? 어서 대피하라고! 저 폭탄에 노출되면 급격하게 노화가 돼!
Are you out of your minds? Get to shelter now. You'll age rapidly if exposed to that bomb's blast.
옆둥지 직원들은 지금 전쟁이고 뭐고 지팡이 없이는 걷지도 못한다니까!
The nest next to ours turned into a nursing home. They can't even walk without sticks.
잠깐. 이전은 아까 그
Hold on, isn't he the same guy we just...
하지만 너무 걱정하지 마. 그레고르는 이미 계시니까.
It's not a problem, because Manager Gregor is with us.
우리와 다르게 부작용도 적고 심지어 재생까지 가능하잖아요.
He doesn't suffer side effects like the rest of us, and he can regenerate his arm too.
실력으로는 누구보다 타고난 헤르만 이사님이 직접 손보신 분인데
He was operated on by none other than Herman, our most skilled director.
그런 분이 후발 부대에 계시면 안 되죠? 제가 태워다 드리겠습니다.
A hero shouldn't be on the rear guard. I'll give you a ride.
뭔데? 가까이 오지 마.
Well, what the hell? Get away from me. 4 pairs of wings emerged from his back, clicking and
왜
twitching.
도망가세요? 지사의 깃발을 들고 앞장서서 싸워주셔야죠.
Why are you running? You should raise G-Corps' banner and take the lead on the front lines.
한 번도 원한 적 없었어.
개조도 전쟁도.
I never wanted any of this. Not the procedure, nor the war.
앞장서서.
Take the lead. Take that. Toma's mouth opens unnaturally, and a pair of long antennae begin to grow from his face.
또 싸워야 돼? 슬슬 속이 안 좋아지는데.
Eek, we gotta fight them again? My stomach is gonna turn.
무슨 헛소리지? 명령 불복종자가 되고 싶은 건가?
What is that display of weakness? You wish to be punished for insubordination? I think we should run here?
탁월한 계획입니다, 관리자님. 치고 빠질 때를 잘 아시는군요.
An excellent plan, manager. You know when to strike and when to withdraw.
뭐 이런 녀석이 다 있어?
The hell is her deal?
후퇴는 용납되지 않을 거예요.
Retreat is not an option.
이해가 되지 않아요. 전 직원들을 대상으로 개조가 이루어졌다고는 들었지만 이렇게까지 고약하진 않았을 텐데요.
I don't get it. I heard every employee under the corporation had modifications, but it can't have been this foul.
사실과는 다소 다를 수 있습니다.
What we see here may differ from actual accounts.
그레고르 씨의 기억이 아닌 마음이 만든 길이니까요.
The path was opened by Gregor's feelings rather than his memories.
마음속에서 아군들은 이런 모습으로 남아 있었던 거군요.
This is how he felt in his heart about his own allies.
그 둥지에서 모든 직원들이 개조 수술을 받았던 건가요?
Did all the employees in your wing receive the augmentation procedure?
대부분.
Most did.
다들 동의하에 집도되었던 건가요? 이건 정말...
Was it done with their consent? That's so...
엘사 직원들은 동의를 구하고 인신공양을 했던가?
Did the people in Elcor consent to offering themselves up to abnormalities?
그건 계약서에 명시가 되어 있었다고 했어요.
That's... I heard that was written on the
우린
contract.
알지 못했지만 효율적인 관리를 위해서는 그런 절차는 배제해야 한다고.
We were never properly informed, though. They said such routine procedures should be skipped for efficient management.
공포를 직면해야만 한다고.
That we should face the fear.
그러니까 입사한 직원들은 전부 자기도 모르게 동의한 셈이죠.
In the end, anyone who joined the corporation agreed to it, knowingly or not.
우리라고 달랐을까?
You can guess how it went for us then.
좋아, 간다.
기다려. 아직 안 끝났어.
해보겠습니다.
Come on, Sinclair.
좋아, 간다.
There you go. Of all places. Okay, back it up. I need to head down there. You hear a faint voice. Please, help. You follow the sound or check out the source of the voice. Run a pride check, gain an ego gift. A soldier was crushed under rubble, gasping in agony. Please just kill me. It hurts too much. You can't ignore this person, who will be ordered to bring this soldier to peace. I don't remember this event either, admittedly. I'm on Mercel. Thank you. The soldier's life was delivered a coup de grace by the knife. The human rhythm that rose through the blade soon ceased, and the soldier was eased into eternal rest. Ego gift, shoddy dressing earned.
이런 식으로 해결하면 됩니다. 시청자분들.
All allies gain plus 10% max HP. Not bad. Alright, now into the key foothold. Same team.
요리 씨, 안 오고 뭐해?
What's the delay, Yuri?
잠시만요. 가방에서 방독면이 떨어져서.
Give me a second, please. The gas mask fell off my bag.
이젠 쓸모도 없을 텐데. 군장의 무게만 늘리는군.
I don't see it serving any practical purpose now. You're only weighing yourself down.
아야씨, 유품이잖아요.
I mean, it's Aya's memento.
N사 소속도 아니면서 세상에서 가장 의미 없는 짓을 하는군.
You indulge in the most pointless activity in the world, and you aren't even from N-Corps. I'm still not sure what N-Corps really does, being honest.
반대로 묶어야 돼요.
Tie it the other way.
네?
Sorry?
매듭이요. 그렇게 묶으면 금방 다시 떨어질 거예요.
The knot. It'll come loose again if you tie it that way.
배에서 안 풀리게 묶던 방법이 있었어요. 버스로 돌아가면 방법 알려드릴게요.
There's a sailor's knot I learned on the bus. There's a sailor's knot I learned on the boat. I'll teach you how to do it back on the bus. Spoilers. Eh.
아, 고마워요.
Oh, thank you.
뭔데? 너네 뭔데 화목하고 자빠졌냐?
What now? Since when were you so friendly?
유리, 이렇게 된 거 림버스 컴퍼니 새 수감자로 합류는 어때?
Yuri, you know what? Why don't you join our company while you're at it?
제가요?
Me?
그건
That's...
알아. 베르길리우스나 그 윗선의 권한이라는 거. 그래도 말은 꺼내볼 수 있잖아.
I know. We need to get the okay from Virgilius or his superiors and all that, but a little suggestion doesn't hurt.
글쎄요.
I wonder.
그리고 분홍머리가 회사의 마스코트로도 제격이거든. 어때? 어?
Plus, pink hair makes a perfect mascot to represent us. Come on, won't you give it some thought, please?
마스코트요?
A mascot? Yuri made a smile for the first time, albeit faintly. This time I think we're... No, we have to start down, because I want to come back up here with some sanity.
끌어넘칠 시간이군요.
전쟁은 끝났다.
The war was over. Victory. Suppose not.
하지만 난 아직도 우스꽝스러운 포즈와 자신만만한 얼굴을 하고 있었다.
Yet my doppelganger was still holding a silly pose with a confident look on his face.
난 저런 표정은 짓지 않는데.
That's not the kind of face I'd make.
하지만 팔에 나 있는 털만큼은 역겹게 아주 잘 그렸군. 누가 그린 거지?
Though, gotta give it to him for making the hair on my arm look as grotesque as it is real. Whose job was this?
유머가 늘었다.
I've grown fond of humor.
악몽 속에 오래 잠겨 있다 보니 살고 싶어 그렇게 된 모양이다.
Being consumed by the nightmare for so long must have made me crave liveliness.
쥐사 새끼들은 모조리 참수시켜버려야 돼.
Those scum from G-Corps should all be sent to the gallows. Reminisce person. Disgruntled citizen.
누군가 중얼거리면서 바닥에 가래침을 뱉는 소리가 들린다.
Someone murmurs, spitting on the floor.
목소리의 방향이 어디로 향했는지는 쳐다보지 않아도 알 수 있었다.
I could tell what they were speaking towards without even looking.
그래서였을까?
Knowing that.
속이 메스꺼렸다.
I felt nauseous.
저기요, 괜찮으세요?
Kind citizen. Sir, are you alright?
어이, 괜찮은 거야? 얼굴빛이 영 안 좋아 보이는데?
Hey, you okay, babe? You don't look so well.
지하철이었는데.
I was just in the subway?
무슨 개소리야?
The hell are you blathering about?
그래. 여긴 여전히 전쟁터야.
Greg, we're still on the battlefield. Gregor groped his pockets with stumbling hands, looking for a cigarette out of habit, but soon stopped. It dawned on him as it did me. All the sinners seem to have realized it now. Toma is going to grab us and give a warning any second now.
당신들
Are you...
토마 씨, 대사가 슬슬 지겨워져서 그런데 우린 미치지도 않았고 누아 폭탄은 안 맞을 거야.
Look, Toma, I'm starting to get sick of your pickup line, so I'll say it once. We're not out of our minds, and the aging bomb ain't gonna hit us.
아니
No. Instead of elaborating, he points up.
나 살려달라고.
I need help.
죽고 싶지 않아.
I don't want to die. Toma was crushed to a pulp right before our eyes. There's only one thing to say in a situation like this. Run!
선원, 후퇴!
All troops, retreat! We muster up everything we can to run, but the airborne hand is ever persistent and shows no signs of letting up.
다 같이 군죽행이 되겠어. 대책 없어 똑똑한 양반.
We're all going to get turned into pancakes. Got any bright ideas, smart one?
듣는 중이에요. 심상 속은 변수가 너무 다양해서 섣불리 결정하기 힘들기 때문에.
I'm listening. There are too many variables to consider in the fathoms of ego. I can't be hasty with my judgment.
고민할 것이 뭐가 있겠는가? 진정한 영웅은 어떠한 고난에도 굴복하지 않지.
There is no cause for hesitation. A true hero succumbs to no hardships.
난 묵사발이 되어버린 시체는 옮길 맘이 없는데.
I don't think I want to recover a flattened body.
아, 미안 단테. 당신 보고 한 말은 아니야.
Oh, sorry, Dante. Didn't mean it that way. It was tempting to say something back to her. But I figured now was the time to keep my mouth shut so everyone could focus on running.
아직도 생각 중이신가? 모르는 건 없다며.
Still thinking, are you? Well, are you, Miss Knows It All?
당장의 해결책을 물어본 거라면 네, 아직 얻지 못했어요.
If you're asking for an immediate solution, then yes, I've yet to come up with one.
확실한 건 이 근방에는 황금가지가 존재하지 않는다는 거예요. 그랬다면 단테 씨가 조금 더 적극적인 반응을 보였을 테니.
The only thing I can say for certain is that our objective is not nearby. Dante would have responded strongly otherwise. Me?
장난해? 지금까지 겨우 알아낸 게 그거야?
Are you joking? That's all you've got? Heathcliff furrowed his brows, ready to snap at the unhelpful savant. But a sudden close shave with a massive paw made him focus his energy on his legs rather than his mouth.
그레고르 씨?
Gregor?
뭐야? 왜 갑자기 멈춰?
Whoa, hey, what? Why the holdup?
알 것 같아.
I think I see now.
이것이 내 세계라면.
If this world is a product of my mind... Gregor took a breather, then looked up at the sky.
우리들은 저 손을 피하면 안 돼.
We shouldn't run away from that hand.
기어이 마탱이가 가버렸냐?
Did you finally get the crackers or what?
그레고르, 확실한가요?
Gregor, are you sure?
지금까지 뭐 하나 내 의지대로 살아본 적이 없었어.
My own free will never played much of a role in my life.
이건 역시 저항 자체가 무의미한 공간이라는 거겠지.
It only makes sense that resisting is meaningless in this reflection of my mind.
그렇다면 저항을 그만두는 게 해답일지도 몰라.
Hey, this looks like a frown. In that case, letting the inevitable happen might be the answer.
진심이냐? 다들?
Are you all serious?
별다른 방법이 없잖아요. 다들 지쳤다고요.
It's not like there's any other way. We're all exhausted.
그리고 말이지. 저 손톱 말이야.
Besides, look at that paint on its nails.
저런 무늬의 매니큐어는 흔하지 않다고.
You don't see that kind of polish just anywhere.
손바닥의 주인이 그 사람이 맞다면 절대 날 포기하지 않을 거야.
If that hand belongs to who I think it does, she will not stop chasing us.
파우스트 씨, 당신 이게 내 마음의 길이랬나?
Faust, you said this is a path in my heart, right?
그렇다면 확실할 거야.
Then I can tell you this for sure.
내 마음의 길은 이 이후로는 막다른 길일 예정이거든.
It's about to hit a dead end.
악몽도 길도 그 사람의 통제 밖으로 벗어나 본 적이 없었으니까.
Be it the nightmare or the road, I never once strayed from that woman's control. Who is Gregor talking about, and what does he mean by a nightmare? As much as I wanted to ask him,
될 대로 되라지.
may as well. Soon enough, the giant hand cast its shadow over us, descending. Just before it reached us, it stopped to hold us in its grasp. Everything went dark. I felt a disorienting nausea of being lifted into the sky. Urgh. While everyone else was suffering from it, Faust and I were the only ones standing straight. I noticed that the battlefield had changed into somewhere familiar. Focus battle, gotta focus. Let's see. Okay, you're... Okay. First, you. Next, you. Next. Okay. You, in the middle. In the back. In the front.
어떡.
생각보다 잘 들어갔네.
균형이 무너졌군요.
You two focus on them. You focus on them.
어떡. 다시 결투를 끝내자.
생각보다 잘 들어갔네.
불타올랐군요.
완전한 침묵.
부드럽게.
좋은 전략입니다.
Let's see. Both roads lead to here. Maybe it will be best. It doesn't matter.
해오던 대로 방송을 켜겠다.
Recollected Fester G Corp H manager, as in head manager. I see. This is something I'd use an ego skill for, because I don't want to lose 15 SP when the ego skill only costs 10. Why take that risk?
부드럽게.
내 팔은 뼈에 있었어.
Alright, we shall be fine.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
불타올랐군요.
We shall be fine.
부드럽게. 불타올랐군요.
순조로운 전략입니다.
좋은 결투.
Huh, I can actually walk backwards into this one. Weird. Otis, you're done. That's it. Yoshu.
하라고? 나? 뭐 최선은 다해보겠다만.
Oh. Okay, aim for you, and aim for you. Go for the front, so you aim for you, and you aim for you.
부드럽게.
오, 생각보다 잘 들어갔네.
아름답진 않네.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
Let's see. You, and you. Honestly, now you here.
부드럽게. 좋은 결투.
Yep.
불타올랐군요.
Yep.
숨쉽구만.
Yep. Alright, now time for the event. While traversing a narrow passage, a swarm of cockroaches crawled into the way. The rustling visage is almost revolting. You walk past them, or carefully move past the gross swarm. All allies lose SP. Enough is enough. Crush the cockroaches with the sinners. Gregor loses a lot of SP. Begin a combat encounter. Win to gain an ego gift. Tisk. Gregor turned away from the carnage, discontent. Soon after, a crowd of angry bug soldiers came charging for us. Gregor lost 20 SP. Combat encounter. When the next battle to gain ego gift, Festered Fragment. So Gregor stays. You're not quite done. Hong Lu. You're done. Assault. Otis has been done. Ryoshu. Not yet. Ishmael is done though. Sinclair. And Don Quixote.
그럴듯한 예술이라면 더 좋을 텐데 말이야.
Yep.
출진이다!
균형이 무너졌군요.
좋아, 간다.
승리! 끝났어!
기다려. 아직 안 끝났어.
불타올랐군요. 해보겠습니다.
30분.
Down they go. At the start of the turn, allies with 50% or less health heal 5 HP. That's pretty good in all honesty. Alright, last battle before the boss. Make it count. Okay, you're done, Gregor. You're done, Honglu. Ryoshu. You're still in, so Rhodium. Ishmael's done already. They should really put this up here because D6 are D6 and D6 are D6, but my brain still doesn't quite adjust to them right. You, Faust, and Heathcliff, why not?
재미게 끌 거 없어. 바로 간다.
Alright, you. Nobody. 2. So you'll take on you, and you. There we go.
행동을 개시합니다. 지금이 기회입니다.
Let's see. So you, and second one on you.
해보겠습니다.
Last checkpoint. Safety. We have been recording for over 3 hours. Gosh, I thought I was being too cautious, not doing the dungeon at the same time as the last video, but actually it was the smartest single thing I've done. This is gonna be a lot more of a pain to edit than I thought. Ah well, I signed up for this. Should have read the contract a little closer. Come on, let's do this.
해오던 대로 방송을 켜겠다.
단테, 이 격리실압, 여태까지 만난 것들과는 다른 느낌이 들지 않나요?
Dante, something about this containment unit seems different from the others, does it not? Yeah, it really does. Wait, is this?
네. 황금가지가 뿌리내린 환상체가 있을 거예요.
Yes, that is most likely where we can find the abnormality in which the golden bow has taken root.
그래도 다 온 모양이구만.
We did manage to come this far, huh?
그레고르 씨,
Say, Gregor,
버스로 돌아가면 카론한테 지도 보는 법을 알려줘도 될까요?
when we go back to the bus, can I teach Caron how to use a map?
그래. 카론이 좋아할 거야.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm sure she'll like it. Ah, the classic Miss Blunder.
그럴 리가요.
I doubt that. Sinclair shook his head, then dry-retched afterward.
돌아갈 곳이 있다는 건 좋은 거네요.
It's nice to have a place to go back to. Maybe the golden bow lies inside the apple? Golden sheen. Turn start, heal 10 HP per count. Last time I wrote an observation log, I was a kid, so I'm not sure if I'm up to this, but I guess orders are orders. So, start with describing its appearance. Alright, that was an apple. A huge, grotesque apple with limbs. Personally speaking, doesn't it freak you out when a food item gets all massive or starts walking on its own? Is it just me? I went off topic there. Anyway, that apple was golden. Definitely not something out of your average orchard. Right. It's what you call an abnormality, yeah? Then yeah, that apple abnormality was strutting all by itself. So I was getting a growing urge to chop that apple. It was almost magnetic. Hard to explain. While you won't find a lot of people who hate apples as much as I do, I guess that's on my unusual past. We decided to fall back for now since we had too little intel to try and fight. We'll probably take on it at some point, so I'll write down more when that time comes. How disorganized. Were your reports as terrible during your military service? Gosh, my mouth is getting tired. My syllables. Virgilius instructed us to write these however we wanted. Dante agreed with that too. If executive manager is fine with it, I won't object. A cigarette burn is left on the paper. SPC. Seriously, some petty complaint that was.
좋아, 간다.
Doesn't matter where the other sinner shoots.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
Come on, Gregor.
순조로운 전략입니다. 자!
좋아, 간다.
The apple's body broke, and the raging fruit still grew. Could the golden bow really be in there? I'll go check it out, Yuri said to the others. Any of you familiar with this kind of story can see where this is going. The sinner with a bug's arm seems nervous about this. Does he want to go with her, perhaps? You can't just send Yuri out there alone. What sinner will be able to keep her safe? ... The fruit's cracked shell suddenly began to rattle as if it would jump at any moment. Gregor managed to escape, but it seems Yuri couldn't. The fruit's flesh melted to form a new body. Don't feel too guilty about it. One lost life is better than two. The golden apple formed a new body. ... District 4, LC Branch Interior. The abnormality devoured Yuri in one bite. She was gone without a trace. I can save the other sinners, but there's nothing I can do about Yuri. Without a word, Gregor hacked and slashed away at the abnormality, as if he expected to find Yuri unscathed by slicing the apple open. False apple. Deteriorating flesh, absorb nutrients. Okay. Focus on counter, can't be too careless. You? Oh, shoot. Stick for a counter then. Aim for the faster one. Middle slots. I can't redirect that. Oh, may as well. No point in not, right? Gregor. Four. Not bad, but someone's still missing. Okay, that one. Unless... No, they're both neutral. Guard. Last. It was you. First slot. God.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
Last. Middle. You can't redirect anything, so might as well. This slot. Last. Well, an ultimate.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
Gregor. Immobilized. Does not act for this turn, because I took out the head. Frail core. When the head is destroyed, all parts are inflicted with mobilized next turn. The head regenerates after one turn. Alright. No, not the head. Let's break the body.
생각보다 잘 들어갔네.
Rotting apple. After the body is destroyed, all parts are inflicted with 2 attack power down every turn. Alright. Faster slots.
뭐야? 나한테 볼 일이야?
Nobody's attacking you. Wow, 3 attacks. Okay, so last one. And you can redirect 1 attack, so let's make it the front one. As for these 2, you can redirect the 1 and you can redirect the 4. Alright.
간다.
좋은 전략입니다.
The mass of maggots falls apart in a hail of silent screams. Beyond that, I see a wave of radiant golden light. Is that the golden bow? Just as I begin to approach it, the apple begins to tremble.
저 혹시 림버스 컴퍼니에서 오신 분들 맞나요?
Excuse me, are you the people from Limbus Company? Yuri, you're okay? No. Even though I had clearly seen it devour her, I couldn't stop myself from asking.
버스로 돌아가면 카론한테 알려줘도 될까요?
When we go back to the bus, can I Caron how to? Then I saw a glimpse of the pink locks of hair that Rhodia took a liking to. Yuri's head stood motionless, facing Gregor. Her face was upright. However, the Yuri we knew unaccompanied was always hunched over. She slouched at all times, as though it were her sole surviving obligation to carry the wills of her late colleagues. Given that, I can warn him with confidence. That isn't Yuri, Gregor.
그래. 내 생각에도 그런 것 같아.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think you're right. Gregor accepts it calmly. He then outstretches his arm, sending it flying toward Yuri. Yet, it soon stops traveling.
죽고 싶지 않았어요.
I didn't want to die. Cut her down, Gregor. I don't know if this is the right thing to do as a manager.
그 누구도 죽고 싶어 하진 않았어요.
None of us wanted to die. But I had to shout at Gregor now to stop him from being ruined. Cut it now.
죽기 싫어요.
I don't want to die.
이건
This is... The verminous arm stopped right before reaching the civilian's throat. I pulled against it with all my might, but it wouldn't budge. Please spare me. I'll give you all my money.
여자를 놔줘. 아니면 대응 공격을 하겠다.
Let the woman go, otherwise I will stop you by force.
내 팔을 잘라줘. 어서!
My arm! Cut off the arm, now!
다시 말한다. 놔주지 않으면
This is your final warning. Release her now or...
달라고!
Just do it! As the dismembered arm falls to the ground, she slides down the wall, gasping. However, peace doesn't last long. The arm starts regenerating from its twitching stump.
괜찮으십니까?
Are you alright, sir?
가까이 오지 마. 가까이 오면 안 돼.
No, stay away from me. Don't come any closer. The regrown arm rushes forward as if it remembered the pain it suffered mere moments ago.
그레고르 과장님, 항상 존경하고 있습니다.
You have my utmost respect, Manager Gregor, sir.
존경하지 마. 난 내가 원해서 참전한 것도 아니야.
You really shouldn't. I didn't fight in the war because I wanted to.
그럼 난 도대체 어쩌라는 거예요? 살아남은 게 죄예요?
What else am I supposed to do? Is it so wrong that I survived?
그냥 살아가 제발. 우리가 원해서 이 비극 속에 떨어진 거 아니잖아.
Just live on, please. It's not like we got ourselves into this mess voluntarily.
끝에 끝에서 결실을 목전에 두고 멈추다니 실로 개탄스럽군.
Having come to this end only to be stopped just before your labor bears fruit. How regrettable.
뭐 우리야 좋지. 잡지 않은 기회는 유찰될 뿐이야.
Well, we'll take it. Opportunities left unclaimed will only become null and void. Yuri's head fell to the ground. It wasn't Gregor's doing. Yuri's mouth opens and lets something out. It was a tree branch radiating a bright golden glow.
가지를 찾고 있었니?
Seeking the bow, were you?
당신
You.
생각보단 좀 작다. 그치?
A bit small, isn't it?
난 헤르만이라고 해. 앞으로 자주 보게 될 거야. 왜냐하면
I'm Herman. We'll be seeing each other often. The reason being,
우리는 가지가 필요하고 너희는 가지를 찾을 수 있고.
we need those bows, and you are capable of finding them.
너희는 죽지 않지만 우린 너희를 죽일 거니까.
You won't die, but we will kill you. Herman nudges Yuri's head with her foot.
물론 지금은 말고.
It won't be now, though.
황금 가지는 우리 쪽에서 안전하게 수거해 갈게.
We'll take good care of the golden bow you found.
구보, 나의 벗. 이것이 그대가 선택한 길이오.
Gubo, my dear compatriot, is this the path you chose?
맞아. 이젠 몇 안 남았지.
Indeed it is. Only few remain now.
오랜만이네, 형.
It's been a while, brother.
네 옷에 더러운 냄새가 나는 거 알고 있어? 지금 꼴을 가족들이 봤어야 했는데.
Do you know how filthy your clothing smells? If only your family were here to see your state.
아주 만남의 광장이로군.
Some reunion this has turned into.
내가 준 선물은 잘 간직하고 있어, 아들?
How are you treating your present, my son?
고작 이런 꼬락서니가 되라고 준 건 아니었는데.
I didn't invest in you just to see you in such a mess.
바란 적 없어. 한 번도.
I never asked for this. Not once.
그래도 포장지는 마저 뜯어야지.
You should at least finish unwrapping what I gave you.
고작 그 능력이 내가 준 전부가 아니거든.
That little arm isn't all there is to it.
자, 인사는 여기까지.
Alright now, that's enough greetings. The man who introduced himself as Jian Huan clapped twice. Then everything went dark. Like waking from a long nightmare. The early dawn greets you. After some time passed.
쉬운 임무라고 생각했는데
And I thought this would be an easy enough mission for you.
눈앞에서 황금 가지를 빼앗기고 당당히도 복귀했군.
After allowing the golden bow to be taken before your very eyes, you had the gall to walk in with your faces up.
나의 과대평가였나?
Have I overestimated you?
파우스터 씨, 변명이라도 해보는 게 어떨지.
Why don't you give me an excuse, Miss Faust?
불멸만이 해답은 아니더군요.
As it turns out, immortality wasn't the solution to everything.
당신은 할 말이 없습니까, 단테?
Anything to say for yourself, Dante? There was another group going after the golden bow. You had to have known this, so why didn't you warn me?
황금 가지를 노리고 왔던 다른 세력에 대해 물어보네요.
They're asking about the other faction that sought the golden bow. Faust placidly relayed my words to Virgilius.
설마 내게 책임을 묻는 겁니까?
Don't tell me. Are you holding me responsible?
되묻죠, 단테. 아무런 위협 세력이 없는 곳에 12이나 되는 자들을 내려보낼 이유가 있습니까?
Tell me then, Dante. Why would we bother sending 12 whole combatants to a place with no threats?
해결사까지 추가로 고용해가면서 말이지.
After hiring fixers to guide them too. That's...
됐어, 관리자 양반.
Enough of that, Manager Bud.
그건 내 탓이야. 책망하려면 나에게.
It's my fault. If you want someone to blame, I'm right here.
걸작이군.
How fascinating.
만난 지 얼마나 되었다고 벌써부터 전우의 냄새를 풍기는지.
Built a sense of camaraderie between you already.
뭐, 피차 한 배에 묶인 자들끼리 감싸주는 게 나쁘다곤 하진 않겠지만.
Well, I do suppose it's not too bad to cover up for each other since you're all in the same bus.
치부를 감싸주는 게 무능함을 가릴 수 있다고 착각하진 않아줬으면 좋겠어.
Just know that sticking up for one another doesn't make up for your incompetence.
연락이 왔습니다. 애프터 팀의 특별작전 사과가 지하로 진입, 작전을 수행한다고 하네요.
We got a call. After Team Spec Ops Section 4 has just gone underground for their job.
그래, 그래야겠지. 남은 애고와 환상체라도 회수해야 할 테니.
That sounds about right. Someone has to salvage the ego and abnormalities left there.
정작 중요한 정수는 이렇지만 말이야.
A real shame that the essence was lost, though.
뒤끝이 길군.
This is getting excessive.
전장에서 실패는 의뢰 있는 법이다. 목표를 달성하지 못했다면 다시 작전을 세워 재투입을 할 뿐이지.
Failure is a common thing on the battlefield. If an objective wasn't met, you devise another plan and redeploy.
첫 작전에서 너무 많은 걸 바라는 게 아닌가? 관리자님은 첫 지휘라고는 믿을 수 없는 성과를 보여주었다만.
Are you sure it wasn't your expectations that were too high for our first mission? I will have you know that our manager's performance was nothing short of outstanding.
이쯤 해두지. 뭐 아주 틀린 말을 한 것도 아니니까.
I suppose we'll leave it at that. You're not entirely wrong.
그렇죠.
Certainly. There seemed to be an uncanny tension between Virgilius and Faust. But right now, I had neither the energy nor the willpower left in me to get inquisitive. The bus reeked of blood with all the stains and gore on our outfits, yet none of us tried to open the windows. And no one had the urge to have a change of clothes. All of us just sat in place, dwelling on silence. Gregor had the most defeated look of them all, staring out the window. Then, he suddenly went to hang something from his pocket near the windshield of the bus.
벌레 양반, 메피의 머리에 뭘 매단 거야?
Bug guy, what did you put on Mephi's head?
유품.
A memento.
두 사람의 유품이다.
Something that belonged to the two.
딱 유리씨만한 여동생이 있었거든.
I had a sister, just about Yuri's age.
그냥 그랬었다고.
That's all there is. I considered giving him a pep talk, but that quickly dissipated. Ishmael wore a grieving look, Sinclair was quietly weeping, and Rodia let out a distressed sigh. If they couldn't offer him any encouragement, what good would I do?
카론, 시야에 방해가 되진 않겠나?
Charon, won't this get in your way?
응, 카론은 괜찮아.
No, Charon will be fine.
그래, 출발하지.
Alright, let's hit the road.
부릉부릉.
Vroom vroom. The bus slowly grumbled forward. The gas mask hanging by the windshield waved like an ornament.
그림자를 줬던 나날들 남은 건 허망한 기억 불길이 나를 태운 것처럼 내 손엔 잿빛 먼지뿐 쉼없이 달려왔던 나를 죄어오던 시간들 이조차 그리워질까 모든 날 언젠가는 돌이켜볼 기억 속에 미소 질 수 있기를 돌이켜볼 기회
압도했습니다. 제 기존 검술보다 한층 더 향상된 기술을 쓸 수 있었다고 생각합니다. 시청자의 수가 대폭 증가하겠군요.
Canto 1 defeated. Even if it's a hollow victory, a rotten victory. Basic identities uptied. Basic ego thread spun. Backdoor volatility detected. EXP Luxcavation has been unlocked. Dante, a new function of Mephistopheles has been unlocked. Please direct your attention here. It is possible to grow stronger by gaining experience through battle, but it is not the most optimal method. Luxcavations are here to help speed up your identity's training. Using Luxcavation battles to earn training tickets. Using training tickets is a much faster method of leveling your identities. In Thread Luxcavations, which will be unlocked later, you can earn threads, resources used to uptie identities and thread spin ego. Please note that Enkephalin modules are needed to enter Luxcavations. Once cleared, Luxcavation battles can be skipped. Skipping costs double the Enkephalin modules, but it saves time and grants 1.5 times the rewards. Higher Luxcavation stages will be unlocked as you continue this journey. Higher level Luxcavation stages yield better and more efficient resources. It's highly recommended to check this menu from time to time to see if you've unlocked a new stage. I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Take it away, outro guy. Keep it short and sweet. The video's long enough as it is. That was a journey that I did not expect. But needless to say, Gregor has a bad time. I remember playing this as if it was yesterday, but at the same time, there were so many nuances that I forgot or just don't remember, or maybe that weren't even there that made this feel just as if it was brand new. Either way, his story isn't over yet, one way or another. I can guarantee that. Yeah. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. Subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to rest and prepare for Season 6. Take care.